Poke the bear.
Clearly,
See
I'm
how
just
it gets you.
saying Anglo in Dwarvish.
Yeah. I'm not gonna poke the bear. I've seen what happens when the bear gets poked because I've been the bear today.
Oh, what'd you do?
Meteor Swarm.
Did they? Ah.
Outright killed one of his players.
Then Noblin revived and is gonna be insistent on getting 2,000 gold from them.
I had to cast a very powerful spell for this.
We know what Revivify is. We're 17th level. What the fuck do you think we're on?
What if I didn't cast it then? I can always undo it. Holds knife.
Holds
Anti-revivify. Stab.
No, Noblin does have a sense of self-preservation. Oh, let's face it, Noblin
Cast
will get down.
disintegrate. Now I've made it
Noblin-
worse.
Noblin will get to half health and then cast Feign Death on himself. Oh my god, Noblin knows contingency just for Feign Death. Gets bloodied, Feign Death casts on him, he falls dead. Oh, I've got it. That beautiful
Oh
basic.
god. Oh no, I'm dying. Oh.
So, hello and welcome everyone to
the
Crabby D&D.
agony.
Harlan.
I am here with Sudz. Sudz.
Hello.
Harlan. Harlan.
Oh no.
Sam.
Hello.
Simon.
Oh, come on.
Hello.
Jamie.
Hi.
And Infernal.
Hello.
Alright. I got what you were getting at there, Harlan, and I was like, no, please don't make me say each of your names twice. Alright. Usual thank yous. Thank you to Nota for all the artwork. All of these tiles, there are a lot of them. I haven't counted, I've lost count. I could probably check how many files I have in a folder somewhere. But there's a lot of them. Also thank you to Tabletop Audio for all the free music that you supply. Go and check that out, it's all good. And then all the maps in here were made on Incarnate.com. I take commissions. Yeah, that's all I need to say. Alright. I don't think there's anything else I want to announce, and I'm all ready for tonight. So if you're all ready, let's begin tonight's session. Last session, our party of adventurers. Elsyan, Queglod, Sasha, Malcom, Bern and Rook. Upon taking a wonderful rest and going to bed nice and early, preparing for the next day, they fall asleep, ready to move on the next moment's notice to fight the Prince of Blood and making their last-minute preparations. As they do so, Elsyan finds the night is less than welcoming to him and finds it difficult to concentrate. Time goes by, and eventually he tries to drift off to sleep but can't. As he begins to enter into a feverish nightmare, he finds himself in a different plane, a planescape of some form which he dislikes greatly. With the effects of fighting his mother while also fighting his friends unknowingly, a battle ensues within their own tavern. Various spells are cast, many individuals are woken, with the exception of Rook, as the party does their best to try and subdue Elsyan, but not before some level of damage was done. Demiplane is cast from Queglod to help preserve and kind of keep them safe, but they feel uncomfortable still. The party is still in a difficult situation and otherwise does their best to rest, with Elsyan unable to do so. With this emergency taking place and the party gathering up Nagriel and making their way to Webval's lair to gather the rest of the loot, they find that it has already been half looted by what look to be ancient dragon claws of some kind. Large parts of it have been carved out, otherwise the stone and structure of this area is mostly destroyed, with a large portion of the gold and platinum relieved. A lot of the items left, but the gold and platinum particularly removed from its housing here. With that, the party began their little investigations, looking around in the cold temperatures and digging their way, to a degree, to acquire some of these items of gold and platinum. So they did so. Upon acquiring a few of these items, sitting down and before resting, kind of collecting themselves, the homestone was placed, a Learman's tiny hut began, and thus the long rest began. Was there anything you'd like to do before the long rest goes through?
Die.
No,
The part. No.
No, I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No.
In which case, are you taking watches at all?
I'll take a watch.
Fuck you, Elsyan's staying asleep. Or staying meditating.
I guess Malcolm can. I don't trust this area at all.
Yeah, the Rook will take a watch then. Malcolm will take a watch.
Okay.
Everyone else.
Yeah, fuck it. If no one else
yeah,
is
I
going
can
to,
take a watch
Elsyan
as
will.
well.
Okay. So, person who's taking first watch, please go ahead and give me a perception check. And first, Elsyan, I'd like you to roll me a d20, please.
I don't like it.
Don't like it.
I don't like it. Fuck.
9. Okay, go ahead and roll me 2d6, please.
What? Oh god, my game's fucking up. 2d6, yeah?
Yes, please.
Elsyan's died.
Fuck you.
8.
That came to a total of 8.
Okay. As you begin to rest, kind of placing the homestone on the ground, the area around you begins to grow cold. But inside the homestone, it's nice and warm and soft as you begin to relax, the aches and pains of the cold disappearing in all of you as you begin to rest. Some of you leaning up against the edge of the dome, where it's otherwise backed against the wall, and doing your best to kind of keep watch from the inside as you look around the kind of translucent grey interior. As you're looking about, you see the winds begin to pick up, and fresh snow begins to break through the large crack and hole in the dome above, which was once a coated layer of ice. Who's taking first watch?
I will take first watch then.
Please make me a perception check with disadvantage, please, because of the harsh weather.
Disadvantage.
Yes. Also, is your mic up?
No. Yes, sort of.
Yes. Okay.
I see he
It's
got
7.
the 69.
Oh,
Total?
7.
Okay. You look around, and it's hard to see in this kind of particular environment. Much like when you trudged through the snow and the blizzard, it's difficult, and you can barely see anything in front of you, let alone outside the dome. As you see a large portion of the ice is beginning to be caked over with a fresh layer of snow. Pieces of it are beginning to freeze over, and you can see the outside of the dome being covered in this thin layer of frost, which slowly begins to harden.
Fair.
Who's taking second watch?
I will if no one else has any issues with that.
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine by me.
Go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
What do my dwarf eyes see? I've actually forgotten what my perception is. Jesus, it's been a while. Plus 5, so that'd be 16.
Okay. You look out, kind of breaking away little bits of the frost and the ice from the edge of the dome as you kind of look out, making yourself a small window. As you look out amongst the snow, you kind of don't see much. It's a peaceful night, and although this is a rather strange location, there isn't movement at all. There's no rampant elementals, there's no dragon coming to say hi. It's quiet. And with the heavy weather kind of setting in, you don't see anything in particular that catches your attention.
Nice. It's quiet. Too quiet. No,
Webfile comes back.
Oh god.
No. Webval comes back, but he's actually just a fucking kobold. Still with the horrific skin condition.
So, who's taking the last watch?
Fuck it, I will. I would have had my rest by now, wouldn't I?
You would have, yeah.
Right.
So you can remove one
Right.
point of exhaustion,
Yes.
and you're all good to go. And Malcolm, you usually wake up for breakfast, so if you wanted to be on watch as well, as you said you were, you can.
Yeah, it's Malcolm's natural thing to be up.
Okay. So, Elsyan or Malcom, you can decide if you want to roll separately with disadvantage, or one person rolls just one dice.
I'm fine with either, to be honest. Sudz, you got any preference?
So it's either each of us roll with a disadvantage or
One of you rolls.
One normal.
Yeah, or one.
I mean,
normal.
we've both got pretty good perception.
what's your perception again?
My perception is +8, which is decent. I
okay.
believe you've got more active perception than I do.
Yeah, I've got +11, so
Yeah.
both might as well both roll since we both got good.
Fair enough. We'll both roll, and it's not
Okay.
relying on one roll.
Go ahead.
That is a 12.
Okay.
Wow.
Of course.
Okay. Starting off strong. How we like it.
Hold on. I need to calculate how much this actually is.
Should be a 7, I believe. Should be 12 minus 5. Because the natural one.
11. 11 minus 5.
No, because it will still add the 1.
Oh yeah, it's still got that. Yeah, there's still 1.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually not that bad.
It's natural 1, yeah. You both kind of stay up and you kind of break away bits of the ice, but where Malcom, you're focusing a little bit more on cooking, and Elsyan, you're distracted watching him kind of begin to slowly work the cooking here. Where most chefs and other individuals you've seen, where they go to cook, they make a small log fire, they set up their equipment. You see that Malcom just otherwise goes into his bag and scoops out this tiny red salamander and just places it on the ground, and you watch as it begins to make this almost circle of heat as he places a frying pan on like a small stand which he puts over the salamander and begins to slowly heat the pan and cook breakfast.
Do I see what he's cooking for breakfast?
What are you cooking for breakfast?
I'm just looking for certain things, you know.
Hold on, I need to calculate. What's today?
Sunday.
No,
It's every Sunday
no,
we do this.
the day in D&D, damn it. I'm calculating if I am or am
the
not
day in
adding
D&D, it is a Saturday today.
a Saturday today.
Neat.
Do you have any bugs to
No,
add into
this
the
is
breakfast?
not. This is not getting added to the breakfast this morning.
Interesting.
I go on and off now.
Oh, you bastard. You're a sick puppy.
As you otherwise begin to slowly kind of cook through your meal, preparing some kind of light and hearty breakfast, not adding any insects, whether that be the presence of Elsyan or not, just generally preparing. The rest of the party comes to, a long rest has been fulfilled, and you all receive nourishment and any points of and if you had any points of exhaustion, you lose 1. You all kind of wake, slowly but surely come into consciousness and looking around. The homestone begins to slowly fade as breakfast is handed out.
A bright, fresh morning.
Okay.
Oh, shit, I've got my spell slots back. Yes.
Queglod, go ahead and roll me 2d6, please.
2d6.
Yeah, okay.
Eight. As the homestone fades and the layer of ice on the outside is slightly broken through, as it was broken through during the middle of the night, the heavy winds and weather persists. It will remain a snowy and blistery day. This will lower your visibility, so splitting up and searching for gold will be slower, but will be faster, but it will mean you won't be able to see or hear one another. Alternatively, you can take the safe route, and you can proceed to explore the area in a group, which will protect yourselves because you'll all know where each other are, but it will slow you down.
Well,
when we say split up, not being able to see each other, what exact sort of distance are we talking about? Would it be feasibly something we could do where if we had like big flashy skills, we could use them as like a flare?
That would be something that's doable. The nature of how Webvar's lair was, it is a very wide and otherwise large area. So the certain spells would need to be heard-wise, it would be half distance. So if you were to cast Thunderstep on one end of the area, it wouldn't be heard from all the way across the other side because of the sheer distance. But near the middle or slightly a little bit further on to the opposite side, you would hear it. It's a ways out to the point that it's going to be difficult to see, and anything which does get picked up will be caught with those with a higher passive perception, but it needs to be big enough to be heard for that sort of thing to happen. There are ways to potentially get around this, such as spacing yourselves evenly around this so you're within a good distance of one another, but because of the heavy weather it is going to slow things down.
I mean, I've just rested. I could take the control weather skill and just, like, tone it down a bit. I should have done that before we ended up actually doing it, because I didn't think. Oh well.
We can still spread out, and that should be fine if we keep in communication.
Probably be safest if nobody goes on their own.
True
enough.
Give me a second. As Sam is putting in spells.
Groups of two, one person with something, at least one person with decent perception to try and hear each other.
I mean, how much rope do we have? We could just tie a rope around each other.
I don't think we have that much rope.
Give me a second. As Elsyan starts flicking through her spellbook.
Conjure rope.
I mean,
No.
don't get me wrong. I've got a spell I can use.
I mean, what spell?
Creation. I can make vegetable matter, including rope, specifically mentioned in the spell, for one whole day, and it just needs to must be no larger than a 5-foot cube, which, as you can imagine, is a lot of fucking rope.
See, what we could do is I could also set up a telepathic bond between us all.
Oh, it'd be just like in the old days.
It will.
That'd probably work.
Yes. As Elsyan
We
would like
could
to
talk
cast.
to each other, but then we still wouldn't know where we are.
True. But as long as we vaguely keep an eye on which way each other goes, we should be fine. Right?
Probably.
Yeah.
So, if I walk off in this direction and someone else walks off in that direction, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong?
Okay.
I feel like I'm going to regret asking what could go wrong.
So the idea was to cast what here?
Vary's telepathic bond.
Okay. What's the casting time on that?
I am just double checking. It's one action.
One action. Okay. So no need to worry about any of that.
Can be a ritual, and I think we're okay to spend 10 minutes for me to cast this ritually.
Yeah, I mean, we're all kind of sitting, eating, and chilling, so...
Is it a concentration spell?
No.
Okay. In which case, I would like you to make me a Constitution saving throw for concentration, please, as you ritually cast this.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Right, got a +7. I can only fail this if I roll shit.
As you kind of sit down preparing yourself, you otherwise close your eyes and begin to concentrate on the spell, kind of forging this telepathic bond as different strands begin to form. You see the symbols weaved before him. As with the wind and the snow otherwise buffeting against the edge of Elsyan, he's finding it difficult to concentrate. With the wind, it is kind of getting in the way.
I did roll a 13.
Okay. You otherwise, however, maintain your concentration while ritually casting the spell, spending no longer than you need to, and the telepathic bond is forged. All of you now able to communicate with one another via telepathy.
Hello, I'm in your head.
How long does this last?
Lasts an hour.
Okay.
Also, I went and had a look on how much creation can make rope-wise. Because rope is flexible and you can feasibly treat it exactly like snake, you can technically make 4,500 feet worth of rope. However, it has been recommended by Natural DM's Guild to limit it to 2,000 feet of rope. So...
Oh no,
Oh,
2,000
no.
feet of rope. However shall we survive? Such a limited amount of...
Mm-hmm.
I would like to point out that having us all be like leashed to one another is
Yeah, I would like that as well.
could potentially backfire if something actually does come up.
I like the thought. Again, going back, one of us gets picked up by like a frost giant that turns up. What do you know what all this activity is? Picks on us up and walks away with us. The others are being dragged along the floor.
Well, there's
Getting
just like
caught
a thin
on
bit
the
of
floor.
ice. Rook like caves in under a Rook. He goes down. Everyone else gets dragged down with him.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, that is a fair point. You don't actually know how high the mountain is.
We also don't know how low, like, deep these giants. Was it the giants? The ice giants?
Frost giants, yeah.
Frost giants. They're underneath his lair, so we could burrow through to them at some point.
I could drop a lava elemental on them. Yes.
Full circle. All right.
I regret casting this spell.
So,
You just hear a constant rain of, what if I did this terrible thing?
And you constantly hear back, Sasha, no.
so, while you're otherwise going around regretting this telepathic bond to a degree and potentially considering attuning to that ring just for this moment, you, even though you're the one casting the spell, you all begin to get to work investigating the area. I would like everyone to roll me investigation checks, please, to see how much they dig up and to what speed this goes. Because of the nature of the terrain you're in, the DC is slightly increased compared to usual. That's
Using one lucky.
one lucky ready. So, Malcom, you have advantage because you are using your draconic form, I imagine.
Hold on. I would like to skip out on my first thing for checking. Because I wanted to cast a spell.
Okay.
I wanted to cast Commune with Nature.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay, so can I use enhance ability before I do this?
I'll say you may go ahead and do so. Go ahead and roll your other one. I will say that if it is higher, you can refund your lucky because this is a
sure.
post-action thing, and I kind of did jump the gun with that because obviously people were casting spells. So if you want to go ahead and roll the second one for enhanced ability on the investigation stuff, so that's the intelligence one.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say you still use the lucky then to get the 15.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sasha, you were using the lava elemental, correct?
Yeah, I might. If I don't summon it now, I don't think I'm really gonna have time to summon it.
Okay.
You know, in an emergency. So
Yeah.
come on,
Okay. So
lava elemental.
go ahead and roll with advantage on the investigation check.
I got a 29, by the way, Chris.
Okay. Cool. I'll go around the table with this.
Wow, that is genuinely still an 18.
Okay. So we'll go to the commune with nature first. What questions are you asking with around the specific topics of commune with nature?
Terrain.
Okay.
Prevalent minerals.
Okay.
Good.
And I don't think any of these others would take effect really, so I guess the last one is animals.
Okay. You otherwise focus, beginning to kind of concentrate on this. The terrain around you. What details does it give? I'm just going to go and look this up. It's just commune with nature, correct?
Yes.
Commune with nature. I assume are you ritually casting this to take the extra time for it?
Yeah.
Okay. So, terrain and bodies of water. So, bodies of water, there are none. It's all frozen nearby. Terrain-wise, though, you are at the top of a mountain peak. You are above the clouds. In terms of feet, Chris needs to quickly find out one particular thing. You are, in terms of how high you are above sea level, you're around about 15,000 feet up. In terms of the drop off the edge of the mountain, it's about 5,000 foot drop.
Okay.
You know that the majority of it is sheer, with a little bit of sloping towards the end, and then it then merges with nearby mountain ranges, which then continue to go down an additional 5,000 feet. You know that with the general terrain as it is, you are at the top of a cap which has been frozen over and created, it seems, rather than being natural, so its height is a little bit greater than you would be naturally expected. And otherwise, going downwards and kind of understanding the layers below, there seems to be a weave of networks within the mountain, suggesting carving of some form. The prevalent minerals, plants, animals, or people. Plants-wise, there isn't anything which catches your attention. Minerals-wise, the only thing which does is influence of arcanium in the nearby vicinity, suggesting either a old deposit or small deposit of some regard. Doesn't stand out too much, so it may already be mined. It may just be that it's kind of an old lingering essence of what may once have been. Animals-wise, you're looking at maybe a handful of large dire wolves that do roam the area. Outside of that, nothing else piques your attention on that regard.
Nothing. Not even below?
Don't seem to sense anything, no.
That's...
Probably good for us in the long run.
Or
Terribly bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So, with that, let's start from this side of the table. Queglod, what did you get?
On investigation, that was a 21 total.
Okay. Previously seeing the 2 potion bottles encased in ice, you spend a fair amount of time otherwise digging them out, kind of blowing apart chunks of ice, preparing and otherwise tearing it out. As you do so, you take the 2 potions in this kind of old leather case, which is mostly kind of chilled and falling apart as you save the 2 potions. Going around, you also find a few pieces of platinum and gold scattered here or there nearby, but no major pockets. Most of it has been taken. You can continue to look for the smaller pieces of platinum in the walls, but that's up to you. Bern.
17.
17. Going through, you end up going about and finding various pockets of kind of gold and platinum, but nothing else that really stands out to you as you are looking around, kind of seeing these various things in the area. Rook.
25.
25. Going around and looking through, you see what looks to be a few things which do catch your attention. As you are looking in, kind of getting a look around for this gold and platinum, you see in one section of this what looks to be a large scroll case or map case of some form that's otherwise rolled up in the wall. Kind of digging it out, taking the pickaxe and otherwise digging into the wall with the help of Nagriel, you dig out this large kind of map case. As you otherwise uncork it, opening up the top, you see what looks to be a rather elegant carpet rug. And as you kind of pull it out and get a look at it, it's seamed with golden thread, wrapping all the way through it in its intricate red and gold patterning. It's a very beautiful piece. It doesn't seem to have any worth outside of that, but maybe a historical relic, it's hard to say.
Fair.
With Nagriel's help, you also proceed to go through and find various gold and platinum that does catch your attention. Elsyan.
Yes.
29.
Yes.
Going through and having a look, you kind of take a little bit of a closer look. Looking through the gold and platinum, you see is being dug out by a lava elemental currently carving through large chunks of this. You see a few things which catch your attention, 2 of them specifically. You see one which looks to be almost this kind of red and brass or bronze kind of rod or wand with kind of this intricate kind of golden inlay wrapping around and spiraling to a point in it, which immediately catches your attention as you kind of look, and it does look to be some form of wand. As you kind of take the pickaxe and begin to dig away, taking away chips of it, you otherwise dig in and you pull free what looks to be a very beautiful and otherwise very cold metal wand as you hold it. And as you kind of hold it in your hand for a moment, it begins to lightly heat up.
Oh.
As you're looking about, you see behind the wand, not far off, as you kind of dig in, the pickaxe kind of pries it free, you see an ebony statue of what looks to be that of a female elf. An intricate and delicate piece, decorative for one's home, but outside of that, nothing else. A small statuette.
Doesn't seem to be any magic on it.
No, just looks like a very elegant piece.
A small statue. Tempting. No.
Okay. And Sasha. 19.
Hello. 19. Well, technically 18.
Yeah. You otherwise go through, digging through with the lava elemental helping you out with your pickaxe to boot. You dig through, carving through pieces of this, taking out the gold and platinum before they melt, kind of excavating them, placing them to one side as you begin to dig through it over the course of the day. As you find yourself digging through, you see something which does catch your attention. It's strange, like these large oval stones just in the wall. And as you dig through, you think at first they might be gemstones, and as you do, you carve through and you pull them free, and they're just rocks. And it's like, seems useless. You chuck one over your shoulder, you dig through, you find some more, and eventually you dig in, and your pickaxe catches on something, and as you pull it free, it flops out like soft leather of some kind. As your eyes tug it free, you can see this very kind of lightly gem inlaid leather kind of strap of some form, and as you hold it there, it seems to be that of a sling.
Fuck it, I got spell slots. I cast Identify.
This is a +3 sling.
Ooh. Spicy.
Oh, yay! +3 on a sling.
One of the most
Yeah.
I love rolling the random loot table and getting a +3
You say
weapon.
that like a +3 sling
Okay.
isn't a phenomenally useful item for any other party.
See, here's the thing. I know full well Chris saw a +3 item and just went, nah, I'm gonna fuck with them.
Mm-hmm.
If I was doing that, I would have given you the blowgun. Would have done 4 damage instead of 1.
Chris, obviously what you do is you give a +3 net. Actually, no, you can't do that. We know it's the most overpowered weapon in the game.
It doesn't do damage, it just hits more like... It's easier to hit and its DC goes up.
I think we actually have efficiency with the
+3
sling.
fly swatter.
+3 fly swatter. You do
Oh,
4
fuck,
damage
can you
versus only
imagine?
flying creatures.
No. No. The point I'm trying to get at is, if I have this, this genuinely does have some uses, but also it's a +3 item. It's guns to be sellable.
To someone who has the money or wants it.
Does anyone want a +3 sling?
Any halfling rogue would love it.
That's what
Fuck,
slings
you're
are
right.
dirty in D&D.
Okay, a lot of weapons got done dirty in D&D.
Don't worry, that's why there's
Also,
small modifications made
theoretically,
in
I
campaign
can
2.
put like explosives in the sling and still fire them because it doesn't
yeah.
have to be rock stones.
Yeah, this is correct. In campaign 2, I'm going to be playing on this a bit more. Slings and blowguns are going to have custom ammunition that, does poison damage, or necrotic, or puts people to sleep, or does a lot of bludgeoning damage,
Bastard weaponry.
or explodes.
Can you knock someone out with a club?
Someday.
I mean, that's a simple weapon, it's just how it is. Anyway.
Yeah. Clubs got done dirty.
Yeah, no one forget that every civilian in D&D is equipped with a club.
That's a fair point. Every commoner is armed.
Anyway, so,
Oh boy.
as you otherwise go through, digging through all of this, it takes the better part of the day, and with the communion with nature and, I'll say doing your own work, Malcom, to dig up the rest of the gold and platinum, as there aren't any other interesting items to find. You gather up all that you found. You find that with the work and the high investigation checks all round, you find that the work goes by fairly quickly, and digging out all the most interesting pieces, you manage to gather up most of it. Are you going to spend the extra time going probably later to the night to gather up all of the platinum/gold, or are you going to call it a day and just say you've got about 95% of it?
I don't think we're so desperate on money that we need to go searching or go that hard into getting the money.
With what you
If
have,
we-
looking over it, you have a sizable amount. Like, you're looking at this and you're going, okay, that's a good amount of gold. There's like 10,000 or more gold pieces there. And then you look at the platinum pile and it's about the same size.
Yeah, I think we
Oh.
should be
We're
fine.
good. We're good.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Let's not push our luck.
Besides, if anyone else gets up here, frankly, they deserve it.
Okay.
Oh, we're doing a geocaching thing of.
Leave a little, someone else. I do think we should, get Queglod on a stick using magic detection and just, wave her around the place, just in case.
Well,
I can walk, right?
yeah, and I've got it too, so I can
That-
walk around as
Is
well.
that the new item that they're introducing in the new snapshot of Minecraft? Queglod on a stick.
Oh,
Stick.
Oh,
Stick.
I saw you guys were doing that earlier.
Yes.
I should
No,
drop in on that.
Yeah, that's
soon.
fine. It's up 24/7, so you'll be able to join it.
Oh.
I've
Cool.
posted
How
the
do,
IP.
how do you actually get the latest snapshot, by the way?
We'll talk about this afterwards, or during the break.
Okay.
So, as you otherwise gather up your things, looking at the gold, you look at it. How are you transporting it home?
I've got a bag of holdings. We can
How
put-
much space does your bag of holding have?
I don't think
my
we have enough space.
bag of holding at the moment, all it has in it is.
Hey, Queglod, you know that demi-plane spell
Yeah,
you've
I
got?
just need a wall.
How much space has it got on it, Rook?
All it's got is 10 bags of autopsy in it. 10 books of autopsy.
That's fine. How much weight does it have? It should be in the top right.
Hang on.
I've just calculated how much the gold alone is.
Uh,
Yeah, you don't have enough room.
No, weight optimal, 500 pounds.
And what's the number next to it?
At the
Correct.
moment, 50.
50. So you have 450 left. So,
take the platinum.
I can carry some.
okay, you can just about fit all of the gold in there, but then the bag won't be able to carry any of the platinum.
Take the platinum
Alternatively,
before the
you can
gold.
figure out other ways.
Oh, obviously, I'd take the platinum for the gold. Logic would dictate.
Now,
How many? Wait. Oh, go ahead.
Nagriel kind of looks at you all and goes, "If you need help getting any of this back, I can put some in my backpack, but..."
I'm sure
No.
it will be
Um,
fine.
Don't worry, we've
curious.
got this.
Can his backpack carry it?
Can carry probably a little chunk of it, not a lot. But he can carry some.
Queglod, do you want me to
teleportation
just make you a wall?
With the specifics of teleportation circle, you'll need to otherwise carry the objects through.
Okay.
Unfortunately, teleport is what you would use, but because it's a single item, you could send one platinum piece through rather than one hoard of gold. So,
Okay.
I mean, what if I just turned everything into a giant lump of platinum?
Yes, because that will definitely be easy
Yeah,
to reverse.
Yeah, don't want to do that.
What did I take, the platinum or the gold?
it's up to you. Do you want to take the platinum or the gold?
Oh, I'd probably better to take the platinum that's worth more.
Yeah.
And easier to load.
Okay.
Out of,
Yeah. The bag of holding is probably more
out of
protected.
curiosity,
Mm-hmm.
would it be possible to say, draw a circle here because I have a circle at the tavern with my chalk? Would it be possible to to draw the circle here, go into it, go to there, then redraw a circle there and come back here?
No, because the set circle at home is permanent until you designate one by drawing a circle and saying home. So because of the method of how it works, you have to set the home beforehand. So if you draw the circle and go back, you then can't. You then have to find another way to come back here, draw the circle, and call this one home.
Oh,
If-
well.
If I get enlarged, does my backpack enlarge with me?
Technically, yes.
Yeah,
That's when you go up in size, your carry weight doubles, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and your and all your items increase in size as well. So yes, your backpack would increase in size.
Okay.
Alright.
I'd-
Enlarge.
I'd say
I guess.
with that, if you and Nagri are both enlarged, you could carry all the gold home in just your backpacks.
That's fine. I'll enlarge them both then.
Twinning spell?
Okay.
Okay. Using Enlarge Reduce, you have 1 minute upon casting this for Enlarge Reduce. Is it a minute or is it an hour? I forget. It's an hour for the potion.
I'll check. Enlarge reduce is.
Bear in mind the potion just ends up
Yeah.
saying it casts a spell.
1 minute.
Is it 1 minute?
It's
Oh.
1 minute for Enlarge Reduce. So as you otherwise cast this, Rook and Nagriel both have to begin shoveling gold into their backpacks that are now bigger.
I keep this up. Oh, no.
It will cost you more spell points. Yeah.
That's fine.
So
Wait,
I'll keep it up until they put all of it in, and then I'll use teleport to get away.
okay. Rook, make me a dexterity check, please.
Oh.
I'll wait for it. I'll spend as many
Okay.
spell points as I will need.
Dexter.
Nagriel's done his.
1 sec. Oh, God, that's a +2.
If this
I'm sorry.
fails, I have another plan.
I mean, I also
17.
have a plan, so it's
17 and 18. Okay. The two of you begin shoveling gold into your backpack. It kind of going over the minute, you begin scooping it in, spending as much time as you can, just pushing it in there with, as you're otherwise doing so. You kind of do up your backpack. Some of the gold pieces fall out, but you have it. As Bern, you need to use a second use of Twin Spell. So the points for that and the casting of the spell, obviously.
Yeah.
As you double cast it once again on them, maintaining their size. Now what?
Do they have it all?
They have as much. They have the majority of it. A few pieces have fallen out, but outside of that, you have most of it.
Got all the gold and all the platinum.
We have all the items?
All the gold, all the platinum.
How-
You have all the items in bags of holding.
Okay.
How long does it take to cast teleportation circle or whatever you were gonna use to get home?
I think it's a minute.
1 minute. Yeah.
So, okay, then I will go ahead and I will draw a circle on one of the walls for them because mine's on the wall at the tavern, so
Okay.
they can both go in there. Because I don't need the walkthrough; it just has 2 people.
Okay. You draw the circle on the wall, kind of going up to a piece of the large wall of ice on one of the layers, drawing
Empty
a
it
chalk
fast.
circle. You draw the circle. You watch as the doorway kind of becomes present, going to a much warmer environment. But you also watch as snow and wind begin bustling through out of the edge of your tavern, as Nagriel and Rook otherwise place their hand on it and shift through the chalk, using up a portion of its duration.
I don't have very much uses of it left, but it's very handy.
Okay. As Nagriel and Rook, you begin pouring out gold in the just outside your tavern so that it doesn't shrink with you.
Fair. I'm assuming it's not just outside the tavern, like on the road. It'd probably be like.
No, it's on the side of the tavern, just facing the large open area which you converted into a garden bar.
Oh, it's in our garden.
Yeah. So given this time of day, there's a bunch of people just sat on chairs and stuff as they watch as this out of a circle on the wall, this Minotaur and Dragonborn just appear, absolutely massive in size, step through, and then immediately start pouring gold onto the ground
Probably going shit.
as they begin to slowly shrink down. And Burn, your casting teleportation circle.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll me a concentration check, please.
Concentration check.
Oh, wrong button. There we go. Same number.
I think that's fine.
Easily enough, you draw, kind of clearing away a portion of the snow, drawing the chalk on the ice below, the it sets itself in, the symbol appears, all of you step in as you enter back into Abod's tower, back at the tavern. I assume that's where you're headed. Yes?
Actually, we're headed to war,
Oh my god.
I mean, I do need to find somewhere to get some blue quartz. Jesus Christ, but it doesn't matter.
Okay. Landing in Abod's tower. You see that Abod is otherwise leaning out of the window, kind of looking down over the two individuals as you hear the chinking of gold, and you hear the sound of people otherwise talking and muttering, and some drunk individuals otherwise shouting. As you
Better not touch our gold.
That's fine. We're both armed.
You're both armed and very big for now, and just about shrinking now.
Yeah, Malcolm's gonna head straight back there.
As you otherwise... Oh. Go ahead.
Abbott.
Oh, hello there.
Right. Come down. We need to start counting.
Very well. He kind of looks out the window. Do you want me to help them ferry the gold in? You enter the dragon's lair, I'm taking it.
Yes. As we could.
Yes. In which case, I will assist where I can. He otherwise walks down with you, making your way down. He goes outside. He goes out momentarily, out through the smithy, where you hear the forge was going, but somebody has otherwise wandered off. As they begin ferrying gold into your private quarters in kind of what they can, cauldrons, buckets, and anything else. As they begin ferrying gold into your kind of personal
I found
quarters.
here a cauldron of gold. Oh, whatever shall I do? Fiddle-dee-dee.
Okay.
What kind of accent is that? Pathetic.
Potato.
Oh, it's pretty fake.
No, the accent is the Alliance. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry, what? It's
the
Fae?
Alliance are Irish.
Wait, that's the Alliance? Oh, no, I don't
The Alliance Irish?
No, Chris.
Chris. Oh, no, that's fair. That explains so much. At least they haven't done any bombings yet.
They have,
So I'm
though.
thinking back through the campaign.
They have, though.
They have.
Yeah, not all
Oh,
of them are,
boy.
but there are sections of the Alliance which are having an Irish accent because I need to practice it. Anyway,
Do you?
so
Do you need to?
it's a challenge for campaign 2. So as you begin ferrying all of this stuff back in, a few of the customers do get like very intrigued as to what's going on. As you are like slowly ferrying this gold back in. As you're doing so, Nagriel is helping as well, kind of scooping it through his backpack, as a couple guards wander by and they just stop, and they just see you guys ferrying gold. And there's a moment where where one of them's like, should we stop? And then they're just like, no, this happens all the time. And then they just keep on going.
And it was a meteor.
Last time.
All the guards are just like, there's something Okay, we hear there's something fucky happening. The tavern.
Yes, them.
What are they doing this time? Gold.
And then there's the new guy.
Do we know it's stolen? No. Leave them alone.
Leave them alone, we can't take them anyway. Should we call for backup? No.
No.
Then there's the new guy in the background.
There isn't enough backup.
I like the thought that what happened in the Barren Lands has already spread to here, and no one wants to mess with us.
Oh man. It's like we should call backup. We should sort this out. They are the backup. Oh no. So, as you're ferrying gold in, otherwise setting yourself up, impressive. I saw that. You otherwise begin laying it out, and Abod begins helping you count it out as a few of your other members of staff do, kind of hearing the commotion, wander in and have a look. A few of their jaws drop. They kind of note it the most. Abod does kind of wander in and goes, does this mean we'll be getting paid a little bit more?
We pay you?
You see that Sasha pulls out a set of glasses. Well, you actually notice that the contract you signed specifies that there won't be any raise for the first 3 years.
You don't know
or
anything
until-
about no contract, Sasha.
Trying to stop us
I'm
from
at
paying them.
war. Of course I know about contracts.
No, you don't know anything about the contract with them. It's me and Queglod that took care of it mostly.
This is true.
That's a fair point. But do we allow them pay rises?
Probably.
Yes.
I don't know.
Most
Oh, well,
likely.
that's stupid. That's
Yes,
not how
we
you
will
treat
need to-
servants.
We'll need to figure out what exactly all of this is getting spent on, but I suspect at least some of it will be sent your way.
Actually,
That is good to
ha-
know. Helping with, otherwise, counting out how much you have.
I mean, we could give them like a one-time tip.
bonus.
You could.
Counting. Yeah, we can help count and then we'll.
Or we could not be shitty business people.
Yes, I don't want them quitting on us.
So,
Please.
I mean, who wouldn't want a 1,000 gold tip? Come on.
We're not giving them 1,000 gold.
you could do that with every one of your staff members, and you'd still have all the platinum left over.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, here's what I'm going to do. Assuming that you're all casting Identify and preparing to go through this, because you can ritual cast it. Here's a list of the items that you have otherwise acquired. Certain ones I don't have the description for. Most of the ones you can find them, and it has
I
page
will be casting a praise on the stuff that isn't magical but is worth something.
numbers. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So, you have otherwise acquired a potion of Storm Giant Strength as one of the 2 potions, along with 1 potion of Supreme Healing. You have acquired 3 bars of Adamantine worth 2,500 gold each, an Ebony Idol of the Raven Queen worth 2,500. Again, this is just a kind of a moment piece.
Just
The Ermine-bound book that's otherwise blank, studded with jacinth. A +3 weapon, which is a sling. 5 bars of pure platinum, each worth 2,500 each. 3 bars of pure gold, worth 250 gold pieces each. An ebony statuette of a female elf. A small carpet threaded with gold, both of which are worth 2,500 each. 46 +3 ammunition for a crossbow bolts. A +2 hand crossbow. A ring of regeneration. A wand of fireballs. Boots of speed. A chrysoberyl, I think. Chrysoberyl totem of a rat, and a pearl of stars, which, upon identifying, is a acts like a spell scroll for astral projection. However, it cannot be copied like a spell scroll could, meaning it's a one-time use of astral projection. Yes. Outside of that, you received 20,000 gold pieces and 16,000 platinum pieces. For a total
160.
for 180 gold total.
I came a little in advance.
180,000. Sorry.
Yeah, 1,000.
No, it's 180 gold.
Yeah, it's 180 gold.
That's all we got.
Yeah, no.
It's like in Divinity when you find the piles of gold and it just says empty, and it's like, no, it's not.
So, how do we split this?
I'll let you decide that. However, as you're otherwise kind of looking over this loot and it is being counted, you're kind of looking around the different pieces here, which do catch your attention. Some of them are interesting, some of them less so. But casting appraise on each of the kind of different creations, they come from various creators that don't really catch your attention. Some you do recognize, they are older and they're otherwise dead. Most of them were created within the past 300 years. However, some of them have been here longer. Kind of going through, they do catch your attention as just interesting and intricate pieces. And thinking back on when the lair was, you do kind of... It saddens you, although you are filled with great joy that you have this amount of gold in your possession now. It saddens you slightly to know that about 80% of the loot of gold and platinum was stolen by whatever dragon got there after you left.
I'm gonna find
Just
that dragon.
20% of the total.
You have about 20% of the total, yeah.
I'm gonna find that
I'm
dragon.
gonna. Yep.
And
I'm
flay
either
him.
going to steal its money or marry it and then immediately divorce it.
I wonder what the dragon wanted with Webvalve's body.
I don't know.
Food?
They do weird things.
Yeah. Now Grill otherwise says his says his goodbyes, and otherwise heads off back to the arena to otherwise hand off the dragon bones, given it's quite late that he went around
Awesome.
collecting.
180k is 36 each, by the way, to 5 people.
Okay, so 36,000 each. You can convert the gold into platinum, so you can each add 3,600 to your inventories. If it does take you over the weight, you're going to need to find a way to store it.
Yeah, is there a bank I can put a deposit in or something?
You have your warehouse. That is the best
Well,
that you have for this.
I'm recommending that we don't necessarily split all of it directly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I
some
honestly think majority we should just put in storage, like really good fucking storage.
Some should be put in some should be put in a separate storage, and some should be invested into the tavern. I would think.
Yeah.
We should give a certain amount over to the tavern staff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Elsyan nods as he realizes he can still be under his weight and take the 36.
Should it be like a one-off bonus, or should it be a persistent raise?
I mean, if we just chuck in our put half of it to the tavern each and keep the other half.
That's a lot of fucking money for the tavern. I don't really know what we'd spend it on.
Luxury.
I mean,
There's luxury, and then there's 100,000 gold worth of luxury. That's more than it took to bring this fucker back from the dead.
quite frankly, you got me on a bargain.
Honestly.
I mean, to be honest, we could buy more buildings.
Do we need more buildings?
I don't know.
What are we going to do? We're going to build We're going to build a castle and a wall, and it's going to be a fortress, and the King of Blood won't be able to get us in there. This is how we beat him. We cocoon. We turtle.
Just buy our way into the monarchy of Adamanthia. We literally just become the royalty of Adamanthia.
Yes.
Just buy Adamanthia.
See, here's the thing. I don't want to incur the wrath of the Emperor. No, actually, no. All the soldiers on the Emperor are fighting the Alliance. Now's the perfect time.
I don't think it'd be the wrath. It'd just be like, yeah, we're a new ally to you now. I mean, if word gets round from the Barrenlands about what's happened, who's gonna go to war with us?
I like the thought. Not everyone knows. Yeah, we probably could kick them out, but it just wouldn't be worth the money and the soldiers and the items and the resources just to get them out of there. So just accept their existence.
I just want to see how much this would put me over my weight.
I put all the money in my inventory, and it hasn't put me over.
Yeah, keep in mind, you're still trying to store this in physical bags and stuff. So this is getting to a point of being absolutely absurd. You need probably a bag of holding to physically carry this amount of gold.
Yeah, literally all of mine is in my bag of holding.
Yeah,
well,
I don't
that's where
have
I've
enough,
dumped it.
but I don't have enough space in my bag of holding because I have a bunch of other stuff.
Is there any bag of holding selling spots?
Yeah, I like how the entire party is like, I've got this money. Oh god, we're pulling an Assassin's Creed where we buy a bank to get our money out.
I will say,
Go
ahead, Queglod.
Sorry, just for what we're planning to store, are there any denser forms of storage than platinum pieces?
Platinum bars worth 2,500 gold each, and they're a lot less They're a lot less weighty.
Question: can I directly convert the coinage into bars?
If you use creation, you can directly convert gold or gold or platinum into the respective
Do you mean
bars.
fabricate?
Fabricate, sorry, yes.
Okay.
So you can directly convert it. If you smelt it, you lose a little bit in the process, so its weight does go down slightly, or you need a little bit more to account for the weight. Or you can send it to someone who will professionally convert it for you. There aren't necessarily banks, and the city has come under quite a lot of problems in the past 9 months since you guys turned up. So, in the way of banking, there isn't a unified system.
They would have been a lot worse off when we didn't show up.
This is true, but since the campaign has started, they've been through a lot. So the city isn't exactly prepared with a bank and everything else. It's got individuals
Hello.
in levels of power here, but there isn't anything like that. Bern rubs his hands.
True. With our amount of
Guys.
money, we could probably
Yeah.
destabilize the economy.
Okay, hello there. We're here to ruin this entire town with pure money. Guys, we could set up our own bank. We can look after people's money, and then definitely not invest it into things that we know won't actually provide money back.
I will say one thing that you do know: you can set up a guild for 10,000 gold pieces in your extra plot if you wanted to do that. You can also
Yeah,
set up
might as well.
you can also set up a library or a training arena or a temple. Are the main ideas for this? There are other things outside of this, but those are some of the main things. You can connect the guild to this. You can otherwise have somebody else take care of all of the hiring and stuff like that. It earns you passive income, and you can post your own quests there to get people to do your dirty work.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Find me! Find... Oh, guys, we could get some dumb fuck adventurer to go out, find a 9th level spell scroll for us and pay them a pittance. Or, now here's an idea. We get jobs from people in town that pay a lot of money. We then pull a mystery dungeons, and when the vegging party goes and completes it, they get 2,000 gold. But we take 90% of it. It's perfect! It's perfect!
I mean,
on
someone who's
the
played
subject
Mystery
of a-
Dungeons and learnt that is very harsh and hurts.
I know. It's just like, well, 2,000 gold this early on. This is not. Oh.
Ah.
Fuck you, game. Then when you leave the guild, it's like, right, we could be free of that. No.
Oh man. You were saying, Simon?
On the subject of a guild, there is one thing I'd like to point out. Given that our goal is to kill Devad properly
Yes.
this time, if we're lucky, there won't be any
Devad or
more.
Ringar?
Ringar, that's the one.
Because if
Oh,
we're trying to
both.
kill Devad, that's gonna take a while.
I mean, we could
You
try
put it
it.
on the back burner.
You know, I
But
had tell
if
that
those-
Devad was
if
once an
the-
elf. Sorry, unrelated.
Got
I
it.
apologize.
So he's weak to.
Hold on.
So he's weak to.
Hold on.
fucking flat bread.
Simon was saying something. Go on, Simon.
Sorry.
But like it's only a coincidence that effectively that we stumbled upon the one ruin where Guardian Myrdal was waiting. If there's need for a group like us again in the future, we need to make sure that they can actually find out what needs doing in a reasonable time frame. I think we should invest some of that money in making those sorts of preparations.
Just so we set
I
something up
hate
to.
the fact I agree with you.
You're being reasonable. Queglod, you're being reasonable, and I don't like
I'm
it.
sorry, I do try to stop.
Right, no. You know what? I 100% agree with you. You're right.
How much would that
Um,
sort of thing take to set up? Because effectively we're thinking a guild that we can teach people to do what we do, or
Building the guild and everything that comes with its accommodation, comes with its own kitchen, comes with its training areas, comes with its armory and similar stuff, costs 10,000 gold and uses up the plot of land next to you. So that means that it will be converted out of being a beer garden and into a guild. But it will mean that you'll then have a guild available to you. You also know that around your area there are various other derelict buildings that do need kind of pick-me-ups to get the city back in full order. So there are community projects, which can bring in
Become an
more money.
investment for
Not necessarily. It's more of a matter of you pay some extra money to kind of help the area out, and in return, more people come to your tavern, which is one of your main sources of gold at the moment.
No, our main source of gold is killing dragons.
Apparently so.
Yeah, true. But for the
Holy
tavern,
shit.
for your tavern, it's your main source of gold.
Yes.
It currently makes you 300 gold a week. On food alone, drink gives you 260.
well, guys, here's the thing: if we get a guild, then adventurers turn up, and we know there's one thing adventurers like to do: drink. We've got a guild connected to a tavern. It's its own money-making scheme.
Yes, this is very true.
Excellent. It's like a pyramid scheme. Let's build a
No,
let's,
it's
let's build a
okay,
guild.
okay. Actually, shit, a guild is just a very elaborate pyramid scheme.
It really is, yeah. Let's build a guild.
We can provide you with the tools to become adventurers. Just you have to pay us money.
Yeah, an upfront fee, and then we take commission from all your adventures that we give, and also all of that you do earn, you spend here, just like places of people's work.
Oh
You know,
god,
we'll
this
give you
is-
a discount if you spend your money here.
Oh my god. We okay, guys. We can't put a dystopian present in this campaign. We can't do it. We escape that in our day-to-day lives. We
Yeah,
we can't skip the other stages of capitalism and skip straight to late stage. We can't do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, we'll be the ones that are getting the money. We're the ones on top. That's what makes it acceptable.
That doesn't make it okay. But I do understand, and I completely agree.
Okay, so first things first. If you're putting in that much amount of gold, do you want me to just take that out of how much you had and then give you the number again, and you can redistribute it accordingly? Because
If everyone's happy with this,
Yeah, sure.
no objections from anyone.
No.
Run it by
I
me,
mean,
my
no, we
brain's
could-
going a bit fuzzy.
We could
We're
all
s-
take
yeah, but-
away 200 from the 3,600. Which
Yeah, I could always do that.
Yeah, I mean, I've put it in now. But what? Yeah, that's
just take away 200 from the 3,600. You get 3.4. Or
we're
300.
paying 10 grand to set up a guild and sort of gear it towards like setting up groups like us.
and that will still give
future.
2,000 for that. I'll say that extra effort to kind of train individuals in that regard. Then.
If we want, yeah.
Okay.
If we want the full, I think that's fine. Just on that extra bit, everyone okay?
Okay.
With,
So instead of
Okay.
having
Yeah,
2,000,
yeah.
instead of having what was it, 3,600 platinum each, it then
You
goes
get
to
3.4.
it now goes to 3,400. Okay. So make sure you have the 3,400. You can note. I'll say you can note it down in your inventory as a reminder, and then if you don't have the space to store it, the tavern storage warehouse has either you can condense it down to bars, which makes it easier to store, which would be more useful for you. You do, however, have 1,600 pounds worth of storage available in the tavern storage, but it would be better to be stored as bars for capacity's sake.
okay, so
Yeah.
just checking. There's
I
nowhere.
think that was just the gold, right? Or gold and platinum.
It'll be
Or was
it'll be
including all
gold,
the-
and there are gold and platinum bars. Platinum bars obviously weigh the same as gold, but it depends on whether you want to have it
No, I
in
mean, like,
excess of gold or.
The 3,400 we just added, those don't include like the small stuff we got, like the
No.
statues and stuff.
No. That's just the gold and platinum pieces that you found.
In regards to
It
that,
also
Is this
doesn't
without the
include
bars?
the bars of platinum or the bars of gold
so
or
this
the
is
bars
without-
of adamantine. By the way, I am very excited about those bars of adamantine.
Yeah.
I have a request. Can I have one to make
Didn't
something?
you already use one from back in?
I did use one in the forge, but I potentially may have to reforge a weapon.
All right, but I'm keeping the other two for once I can actually do my divine quest thing.
What if we all just get one?
Yeah, you should all take one since all of y'all like it.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Sharing is caring, Sasha.
Should we figure out what we're going to do with all the money? How that's all going to
Yes.
be set up, and
I
then
think-
the items.
I think a good chunk of it should be converted into bars because that'll just make storage a lot easier than I point at the multiple cauldrons and buckets and I'm going to guess like a few of the larger tankards filled with coins.
And Abod's just neatly piled them up.
You know what?
We'll put a big
Oh
chunk
god,
of
that
storage
one
as
is taller
bars.
than Rook. Christ, nobody breathe near that thing.
That is a health hazard. We should also put a certain amount into circulation
Hmm.
in the tavern. Make
Yes,
sure we're a
right.
bit more liquids there.
Well, if you
Okay, so
if you want me to, what I can do with the tavern is
Mhm.
I can up it by 2,000 gold, which is the excess from outside of building the guild.
Mhm.
And this will that then will also count as the extra funding from the tavern that also supplies the guild. Anything the guild earns also supplies the tavern, so it goes both ways. It's a universal funding.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
can just put the 2,000 in there if you want that way, just to
Yeah.
even that
that's
out.
cool.
Yep.
Okay. So your tavern is currently sat on your tavern / upcoming guild is currently sat on 10,000 gold available for its various projects.
Which is a lot.
This is true.
But you know, we will still
I'm-
have a lot of money on us.
Yeah. I'm gonna convert like a solid 2,000 platinum pieces into bars from my personal amount, because fuck me, I do not like being over my carrying capacity.
Okay, so you make 8 bars of platinum.
Please don't say it like that, Chris. Please don't.
What? It's 8 bars of
Sound
pure
like what?
platinum. They're worth 2,500 gold each.
It hurts.
Why?
Does it?
Ah.
Does it hurt?
Would
Why?
you would you
Find an
would you
oath bone
prefer a
again.
small pound coin that has like no gold in it, or would you prefer the actual bars of gold from Fort Knox?
Oh god.
I mean, he's got a point. Would be tricky for us to get to Fort Knox, given the ocean in between. But
I don't know.
Okay,
Waterwalk.
and also that's not what we used to balance our money when we were gold standard. But that's beside the point.
No, I know. There's a lot to it, but points just.
Anyway, yeah, prefer to have solid gold. Throw lumps of gold at people. Elsyan can throw money at poor people now. Not
So does
feel
that
bad
mean
about.
that I'd have to have 14 platinum bars made?
How much platinum do you have?
3,676.
I'll just
Wait,
go for
hold on,
3,600, and then I'll just add a 0, and then divide it by 2,500.
By the way, I've put an adamantine bar in
Make-
my.
Okay, so yeah, I'll make 14.4 bars. So if I just remove that down by that. Okay, so yeah, so Sudz, are you going to be carrying the bars with you? Because notably, the bars do still weigh something.
Not all of them. I don't have the carrying capacity for it. I need. Hold on. Can Abod upgrade? Can Abod upgrade my bag of holding?
No. The only person who you know who can upgrade Bag of Holdings is Ozbone, and he does it for 10,000 to double the carrying capacity.
Is there any place we can buy a bag of holding?
Outside of Oregon, you don't know of anywhere, and Oregon keeps a very close knit on Bags of Holding.
Chris, I'm going to leave Remus at the tavern with all of his wolf rations and treats because,
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't worked out as I was hoped. You know what? He could be a good pet for the tavern.
He's been
People
around
can
the
pet
tavern
him.
with the salamander anyway. Most of the time, it's just been they've been being taken care of down in the grove below the tavern.
Fair.
So they've been
And-
relaxing
but yeah.
down there.
And when I have time, I'd like to take them out and they could have fun hunting down. What was it? Ogres?
Trolls.
Trolls. I do that every time.
So
Let me know when you do that, because eventually, well, not now, but eventually I'll probably start taking Gabby out at one point.
okay.
Not soon, but
So,
sure.
general note for anybody who is converting platinum into bars, every 250 platinum is 1 bar. Each bar weighs 10 pounds.
Each
Presume I'm doing all this now
Wait,
with
hold
a
on.
fabricate.
Is it 10 pounds? Hold on. No. Oh, wait, no, hold on. It's not 10 pounds. No. Each bar weighs 5 pounds, sorry.
fair.
And I need 14 so that.
I believe the weight roughly becomes the same, but it's
Pounds.
denser money.
Each is 70. Well, I mean, I can actually carry all 14. So,
Nice. But that's all you can carry.
I mean, not. I mean, this is in my bag of holding. I can't carry this on my person. Literally, I have no money on my person, and I'm almost overweight.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to convert platinum or gold, it's 250 of your respective coin into a bar which weighs 5 pounds. You can either tell me you're putting it in the tavern, in which case I will put it in the storage, or you can say you're carrying it on your person and mark it down. It's up to you.
Okay.
How
And
much?
Go on.
Sorry. I just wanted to know how much I would have left over out of those 14 bars to put back into actual platinum.
Well, that would take you 35,000 gold, so 3,500 platinum.
So 3,500. So I'd have 176. Okay. Wait, no. Yeah, 176. So.
How much gold? How many coins can we have on a person?
Respectively, you can have as many coins as you have carrying capacity. That's usually not the issue.
Okay.
Also,
Fair
I'm
enough.
getting a little bit of echo from you, Sudz.
Oh my goodness! Why does that?
No, we need to find Ozbone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, the most easy person to find in the
Yeah.
world.
Actually, he's going to be in Oregon in the Bloom Festival.
Yeah.
Which is in
You
about
know-
a week's time.
We need to go to Oregon so I can get some blue quartz and live my
Yeah.
life.
As of
Oh,
note,
yeah.
is there anything expensive that we need to buy now? Because that would actually save us some work.
That spell
Oh,
page
I
back.
mean, I wanted to buy the 50,000 gold item Osborne suggested.
Yeah, I want to get them beads.
I want
I
my
wouldn't
spell page
mind-
back.
Some diamonds, since I tried to heal this fucker. Pointed to Sam at Elsyan, and like, and your bastard mother decided to ignore it. Little shit.
Hmm.
She's a
I
bitch.
think that her spell is still actively was still actively affecting me. Which is
Did you
I
really
speak to
should
the
have
done
amulet or
purpose.
no?
she's still a bitch though. Yes.
Still a bitch. She definitely did it on purpose. It was all her fault.
Yes, she did it
Every-
specifically to fuck with you.
Yes,
Sasha,
everything
that-
bad that happens to me in this world is because of your fucking mother.
Elsyan. Yeah. I was going to dispute that, but
Did you
yeah.
to the amulet or no? Elsyan?
Me? No, I haven't. I think it will be fine.
Come back.
But remind me that tonight
Welcome back.
I need to set up sleeping in the mansion.
I realized I don't need to turn them into bars. I can actually carry it on me. So
Fair.
Good enough Elsyan can carry it on him, and he's not really got much problem with it either.
Yeah. I mean, every 50 coins counts as £1.
Yeah.
So, it roughly converts out quite nicely.
Cool.
So, just to make sure I've got it right, how much platinum is it we have?
3,400 platinum each.
Excellent. That's what I had.
Yeah. If you want to add any of it to the storage, let me know and I can convert it into there.
I have, like, as I said, 8 platinum bars which have been put into storage from my amount. So I now have 2,290 platinum pieces which I am carrying on me. Good God, I am gonna get pickpocketed so hard.
Oh, you think you are?
Yeah. You've got all your special credit and shit.
Well,
I really would not mind
I'm carrying almost 50,000 golds.
Yeah, I'm
So was I
carrying-
until 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I can't
Guys,
say I'm
it's
doing much
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're not going to get mugged. Who's going to mug us?
Yeah, if any of you do want to store any, let me know now so that I can store it.
I will store. I will store 10 platinum bars.
Okay.
Presumably you popped away the load that I said, so I'm not going to repeat.
I've got 8 in there, which are Sasha's, 10 which are Queglod's. Anyone else?
No.
Keep in mind there are other effects that do cause, when it comes down to losing gold, it isn't just pickpocketing. There are other effects as well that do exist. For example, money is not magical when it comes to a black pudding.
Disintegrate.
Disintegrate also. All gold and platinum will disappear as a result.
So-
So keep that in mind.
4 platinum bars is 1,000 platinum, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so keep that in mind that if you do end up having all of your gold on you, disintegrate or something similar is cast on you, that's all gone. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. I'd like to put.
What if
One
I
and a half.
enchant all
What?
of my
I'd
money?
like to put. Jesus Christ! That'll cost all the money just to enchant the money. That's not how this works. Sasha, Sasha there, stood in front of a graph.
I don't know.
So,
Stunk.
Elsyan,
I
how
would like
many?
to put 1,500 platinum pieces away.
So 6 bars.
Okay.
Got it.
Chris, what would it cost to enchant a platinum piece with the ability to teleport back into my pocket?
I mean, teleport spell is 7th level. It will be at the very least a legendary enchantment. Assuming that it's not going to destroy the platinum piece to consume it, 50,000 gold.
That's a bit nuts.
And about a year to do so.
Yes, but then I'd have an infinite platinum piece.
Sasha, that I don't think that's legal.
It's not illegal.
I'm fairly certain it is.
Anybody else storing platinum?
No.
No for Rook? Bern?
No.
I sent you a message.
Oh,
I'm
did you?
assuming might not be okay in the bag of holding if something happened.
Believe so. I mean, the bag of holding's magical, and I don't think it.
Oh, yeah, because Thingy got disintegrated, didn't he? And
Thingy?
his bag of holding held all that stuff.
Oh yeah. The
Oh my
Who,
god,
who are you referring to
Jacker?
Thingy as?
not
Oh,
Jacker,
yes.
no.
Not
Uh,
Jacker?
Oh, my brain's having a fart. Our
Jizra?
resident wizard in the tower,
Abod?
Abod.
Abod. Yes, his
Oh.
simulacrum got, or whatever it was.
We
Got
don't know if he got
disintegrated.
disintegrated.
No, you know that he otherwise collapsed, which could be of course by a multitude of effects, but disintegration was one of the things that was mentioned.
If it's in a bag of holding, it's probably fine. 'cause
Yeah,
bag of
anything
holding-
magical is left over after a disintegration spell. The main thing
That's
to
fine.
note was that his bag of holding was gone afterwards. So that was either stolen or destroyed, but you know disintegration would have left it alone, so magical stuff would be left alive, and if it's inside of a bag of holding, it's fine.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah, that's what
staying
we were
there
trying
then.
to figure out.
So that is something to note. Okay.
Cool.
Well then.
Alright, so now I need to buy more incense.
What?
Nothing?
Okay, so with that, is there anything you'd like to do before taking a long rest tonight? Elsyan mentioned to go into the mansion, so I'll assume you'll be sleeping there.
I'll be sleeping in the mansion.
Okay.
Maybe. Yeah.
Do we want to distribute the items
Items.
as well while we're at it?
Oh, yes.
What's the best way to do this? Should we go down the list and everyone who wants a given item has say, and then they can,
I did
if
notice
there's no disagreement, they can just take it, and then
Okay. Yeah.
the
okay.
like aesthetic items are there's 5 of them, so there's one for each of us.
I mean, do we want to keep those aesthetic items? We could find someone to sell them and get more money.
Could do.
Like
though
we
I've got to
need more
admit,
money.
I know this is going to sound weird, but can I have the rug for home?
Are you getting your wife a souvenir?
Yeah. Just like, hi babe, I rescued
Okay,
this from a dragon. Here's a carpet.
I will say this.
Dragon and brought back just a rug. What the fuck?
It's
I
worth
will say
3,500 gold. Ooh.
I will say this. Make sure she keeps that somewhere away from the kids. Little kids vomit a lot.
Oh, we might turn it to like a wall rug or something.
I
You know what?
mean,
I'll take that. I personally like the book.
I like how Simon suggested. Let's just go down the list and just
Yeah,
say if they want it
let's
or
go
not.
down
No,
the
it's
list.
fine.
So,
Everyone
let's
want
do this
it.
thing.
Oh,
What I should
let's
do in
go,
future
yeah.
is come up with the stupidest possible idea and say that, so we do something different.
Okay.
Simon
Alright,
is
we're
going to
going
game
down the list. Potion of Storm Giant Strength.
That needs to go to one of our fighting.
Potion of Storm Giant
I-
Strength, for those who don't know what it does, it gives you 29 strength for an hour.
That
I'm
needs to go to Rook.
9.
I
Holy shit.
What were you going to say, Malcolm?
Suds?
was going to say I am kind of interested in it because I can learn how to make it.
Keep in mind, it is a legendary item. It does require not just herbalism tools being a potion, it will require enchanting as well, given its level. And something of this degree can take a year or more to distill. And once you learn how to make it, you destroy it. Keep that in mind.
I,
Yes. I
think
am
just-
just putting the idea out there for people. It's the same thing with the Supreme Healing Potion. I know I have one of the pieces for that on making it. I just don't know what the rest I need to make it.
If we are investing in a guild and looking to the future, this might not be the worst idea.
True, but we do need to survive this fight with the Prince of Blood first.
That is also true.
And I figure
I'm-
having a potion of Storm Giant Strength on the field will be useful.
Right. Here's my suggestion. Rook carries it for now. If we get through that fight without having to use it, great. Goes to Sudz, and Malcom does his voodoo to get that sorted. But we keep it as an emergency adrenaline boost for Rook until that point in time.
I would be on board with that.
I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that, Sudz?
Yeah, I just wanted to put my.
I mean, it's a good shout. Just
Mm.
It's a good shot.
Just so you know, I'm updating the thing so it will say who's getting what afterwards, so I'm making the notes for this.
thank you.
Okay.
Awesome.
We've already established that each of us three
Each of the
smiths get a
blacksmiths
bar of
gets one bar.
adamantine.
Yep, I've put that through.
Ebony Idol of the Raven Queen. Oh, I was that going.
I wonder who that's going to.
That's already
Guys,
written in.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah,
guys,
yeah,
we all know
you're
that
right,
needs to
you're
go
right,
to
it should
Sova.
Go to Elsyan.
Oh, you went for the different elf. Okay. No, it's going to Queglod. We know
Yeah,
that.
going to play. I'd quite like the book just because I think it sounds nice.
I mean, it's just a blank book, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
a
you
good
can.
book.
So it's fancy if you want to write in it, if you want to sell it, or if you just want to look cool. And then somebody loots your dead body, and it's like, why is this book blank? And it really baffles them. So
No, you could lead someone to go just genuinely insane because they then open up, go right, must be invisible ink. Give you all the methods to try and get invisible ink to show up. No, it's not that. Must be enchanted. We make a guy go insane with a blank book.
Or just have the sentence at the beginning. Under any circumstances, do not read this book.
Oh,
They'll be like, what? It's like great power within, and then it's just a blank book.
and every page is just
So
another
they'll
meme.
use like detect magic and realize it's not magical, and then be even more scared.
no, what you do is you put Nistel's magic aura on it.
Make it seem like it's magical. Give it a fake magic aura. Oh, that's an amazing idea.
But make it
Oh.
like a really fucky magical aura.
Oh man, it's powerful
like try-
necromancy.
There's powerful necromancy with
Oh, no,
conjuration.
Make it
and
evocation, and they're just like, how do you work?
just they start opening pages at a wall, hoping a fireball comes out.
Oh no, make it divination. Oh, that would be wild. Someone would just be like, why don't you work?
What? No, they
Um,
flick through and they find one page saying "fuck you." That's why.
No, I would genuinely like it. I'm happy to,
okay.
discuss.
I don't think. I
No,
don't
you're
want
gonna
it.
have it.
Have it. That's
All
fine.
right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I am taking the ermine bound book.
Yep.
Blank, studded with jacinth.
Okay then. +3 sling
Do we know anyone that would use a sling?
at all.
Your son. Seems
I
like
am
he-
not giving my child a
No,
sling.
No. Think about it, Rook.
Oh.
Think about it. Just think about it. A bit metagamey, I know, but future character, an excuse from level 1 to have a +3 weapon.
Oh, my dad walked out on me, never turned up to my birthday, and then he gave me a level 3, a +3 sling.
My
I
mother took it
properly
away from
murdered
me
him.
though. She said I could have it
Okay.
when I was older.
Chris, how much does a +3 sling go for these days?
The average, given its actual cost, would be anywhere between 12 and 25,000, but it will vary depending on what the item is. It's a sling, so it's lower value. So 12 to 15,000 most likely. You'd need to find a buyer though to pay that, which is very difficult. So
Yeah, who the hell is going to
lowering that
buy
price.
something like this?
lowering that lower
Again, any halfling rogue, they'd love this shit.
to a degree. You do know that in terms of where it comes from, in terms of slings, it's mostly just going to be a decorative piece, or you can use it as a favor. You know that, I'd say, Rook, you would understand this. The Church of Steel does take weapons in exchange for various other things, such as bars of metal or similar animal bones or similar pieces if need
This
be.
is actually true.
Bash in the
Yeah.
Aether also does that.
Yeah, the place in the ether also does do the exact same thing. They'll take weapons and convert it into iron when it comes to what it's capable of. They convert the magical essence into crystals. They turn the physical portions of it into iron, which then you can buy stuff with. So, in terms of what you can do, they can melt this down and turn it into literal money.
Just to double check, the whole thing of weapons having a partner in ether plane, is that only metal weapons?
It is only metal weapons, yes.
Okay, cool. There's not like
So
a.
this thing
There's
won't
not
have a-
somewhere in the ether plane just a random bit of string with the power of God and anime.
No. No. However, to note, if you did end up going and finding the one in the ether, it would be non-magical. And if your version is non-magical, you can combine it with the other one to make a single copy which is magical. That's the effect of what the ether does. So if you made a non-magical longsword, then you find its copy in the ether, you can combine the two to make it a magical longsword.
Huh. Fair.
So,
Okay.
other than that, the sling wouldn't have a copy, and even if you did find it, you couldn't combine them for any purpose. Like, you'd have a sling, which is like 5 silver. So, yeah. Outside of that, you do have ways to convert it straight into money. So if you want to sell it, I can just put sell as the option, and then I'll just have your method roll on a D100 table.
I leave it for now. We can say later, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll just put
Okay.
sell question mark. Okay. Potion of Supreme Healing.
Do you want me to put that in the long range healing thing? Since now we used the last one when we were fighting the salamander.
If we haven't got anything in it, that's not a bad shout.
No, there's nothing in it because I used it.
Yeah, then I would say so.
I would say
unless-
do the same thing with that as with the Storm Drone strength potion.
Like, keep a hold of it for now, and like you say,
if,
pop
if,
it
if we
in
get
the-
where we
Yeah,
have
we need to
time
use it, yeah.
and we haven't used it, we can figure out how to take it apart and learn how to make it.
Fair. I think Malcolm's already got one, hasn't he?
No, I've never had a
No.
Supreme Healing.
Oh, fair.
Superior healing you have had, but superior healings are different because supreme healing is 20 D4 plus 20.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah,
Fury.
supreme
Yeah.
healing is the strongest one, and it is very good at what it does. But as a result, it is extremely hard to make and requires some very finite ingredients. One of which Malcolm has one of.
I
How much does it cost? Cost-wise?
What, to buy supreme healing potions? On average, you're looking at about the same as the sling, so about 15,000 per. However, you've also got to keep in mind that it takes about half a year to a year to make one, and because of that, only the finest of individuals might have one. So, this being a very rare find is also to the point of no one in their right mind would make this because it's not cost efficient. Because if they fail, they lose a lot more. But at that same time, in this scenario, it is very useful, and if they were for personal use, it would be a very good thing to have access to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I load this into the range potion thing, I can put that back into like a vial or something.
The range potion thing is literally just a basket which you put the bottle into, and then the bottle jams it in someone's mouth when you use it.
Okay, I'll put it in the range potion thing then, and I'll make sure
That's
I get general consensus
That's
before I
a
use it.
glorious item.
You can thank Queglod for that. She made it, so
That is magnificent.
Yeah, I realised about half the party had access to healing, and some of us, else of us didn't. I figured it was a niche that we didn't have filled yet.
It has been really useful. I've used it twice on Malcolm and once on Elsyan, I think now.
yeah.
I think it's been worth it.
I mean, it makes me a healer.
Can't remember how much it cost, but
Hey, it makes you a healer as much as it makes Elsyan a tank.
okay. At which point
Perfect.
I'm going to put it as Rook at the moment. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. 5 bars of platinum.
Storage.
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 Yeah.
Same for the gold.
Storage. Okay. Ebony statuette of a female elf.
It doesn't seem to be any
Does it?
particular female elf, does it?
No.
Yeah,
seems to
is
be
it a
just generally-
statuette of Elsyan's mother?
No, it just seems to be a general
Okay.
like female elven form.
Fair
Can
enough.
we dress it up like it is
Super
his
praise
mother?
and then give it
Sasha.
a name.
I think we just sell it, to be honest. I know you don't need
Yeah.
them.
Okay.
We don't
No,
have any.
that's someone wants it.
We don't have anyone to give souvenirs to.
Well, saying that, we could,
I
like,
do.
give
I
it to, like,
have
the
somebody
Emperor
to
or
give
something.
souvenirs to.
Oh, yeah, your aunt.
No, girlfriend,
wanna-
damn it. I
Look
got
at
a
that.
girlfriend.
We're gonna
Ah,
go-
yes, your girlfriend who totally exists, of course.
Sasha, behave yourself.
Yeah.
Play
dwarf.
nice.
No, all right. Yes. You can have that if you want. I'd like to sell it, but you can have it.
I mean, if you want to have it,
Yeah, if
I
you
would
want it.
like it.
Yeah.
I think all the stuff that is just effectively sellables. We just go sell. If you want it, take it. If you don't,
It's not like we desperately need the money.
Yeah. Rook's taken the
I've got
small
the carpet.
the
Yeah.
ammunition and the crossbow. I'll say they're one in the same because they came with one another. So
But essentially,
are
that
they?
makes that a +5 hand crossbow for 46
I don't
crossbow
actually
bolts.
know how ammunition and weapon applies. I think it just takes.
The last time you said it stacks.
Last time I mentioned it stacks, and then I remember I looked it up and then I was wrong. But then I looked it up again and I couldn't find where I looked up.
Wouldn't it just be the with the weapon? It's just upping the
The
range
weapon
and
gives it
then
to
the
the attack
ammunition
roll,
is the
But
damage.
it also gives it to the damage. So the damage stacks, but the attack roll doesn't stack.
Okay, correction. The ammunition and the bow stack with one another. However, after the ammunition hits a target, it loses its magic. After the ammunition hits or misses, it loses its magical properties.
Okay.
So this becomes the effectiveness of a +5 hand crossbow, but after you've used up all this +3 ammunition, you no longer have that ammunition because it becomes non-magical after shot.
fair enough. So it's okay. The fact that you've got a limited number of quite powerful shots.
Yes, this is because there aren't actually that many +positive bows or hand crossbows. There's a few with magical effects. There's a lot more longswords and so on. So as a result, there's a lot less to it.
Yes, I'm well aware that ranged weapons are thoroughly underlacked by way of magic items.
Yes.
Fair.
This is when you just take frostband, you just stick it on a longbow and it becomes broken. So, you know.
That's a dexterity-based weapon, isn't it? Crossbow?
Yes, all
Yes,
ranged
it's
weaponry is dex.
Yeah, it's useless on me then.
Re-
If it
oh,
was
re-
strength, it would be good, but
No, if you need that,
It
technically.
loves the crossbow together with the ammunition.
I mean, so it would mean that it gets a +5 on its damage, yeah?
It gets a +5 to its to hit and its damage, but after the ammunition hits or misses, it loses that property. So every time you fire one, it physically removes one.
Just give me a second. I'm checking for
Just as a note that non-magical ammunition fired from a magic weapon
Becomes
still
magical.
counts as magical. It just doesn't have any
Just doesn't have the additional bonuses.
bonuses beyond what the weapon grants it.
Exactly.
That's it. Honestly, to Sam, that's tempting for Elsyan. Just to have a weapon that's vaguely useful, but it's not something I'm going to be relying on. So,
I mean, it's
I've
a
got
hand
capital.
crossbow, so you can.
I mean, what I'm immediately thinking is, what if
Are you proficient?
what if you just took your wand and strapped it to the base of the
Right. Because
Fixed bayonet just sticks wand on the in crossbow.
I mean, before it got disintegrated, I did have a light crossbow, I believe.
Yes.
yeah.
So I would.
Hand crossbows are martial. Light crossbows are not. They're simple.
That's a fair point.
So
It's-
that would come under your weapon proficiencies as needing either martial weapon proficiency or requiring hand crossbows specifically.
I'm just going to double check because we're taking the stuff that I was originally had with Mystic for this.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Rohal is some sort of
She's a
rogue,
thief,
right?
she's a thief rogue, but she's also taken levels in Paladin, so she has access to every item in the game if she needs it.
Yeah. What I'm thinking is, what if we gave this to her and like, hey, do you want to shoot God?
You can give it to her as a gift or as a favor.
Yeah. Because like a +5 to your attack and damage, that's powerful for anyone.
Yes.
Especially if she's already got like all the proficiency and all the badassness. Like, I'm just saying that genuinely might be
Half the
useful
time,
for
I
her.
question why we do things when some of these NPCs exist.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. I mean, frankly, there's probably someone in the Council of Oregon who would be like, who could use this to its full effect and also probably, I don't know, shoot the arrow around the earth into the back of someone's head. That's how broken-ass powerful they are.
You ask the questions like, why do you guys take care of this? And this is because you're the player characters, you meddle in this stuff, and
Yeah,
they're
I
busy
know.
taking care of actual lives that involve managing people.
Yeah,
Not
no,
just going
I
on
mean,
adventures.
I mean, there are moments where, as a character, you've got to sit there and think of, what's the point of me?
As Toff
No.
once said, leave it to the younger generation. Us old people have to sleep.
As
Yeah,
who just
fair.
said? As who just said?
Toff. From Avatar.
Oh right, yes, of Korra.
Yeah.
I could have sworn that was an Iroh thing.
He may have said it as well, but I don't know. I remember that Toff said it.
Yes.
Well, they made friends in.
This is
The-
true. Anyway, so we have a hand crossball and
Important
ammunition.
Avatar lore, Chris.
Given the debate, we'll move on to the Ring of Regeneration.
I have no idea what that even is.
How much does the Ring of Regeneration cost?
Ring of Regeneration, again, same kind of thing, so 12 to 25,000 in terms of what it's worth. The Ring of Regeneration, for those who don't know, every 10 minutes it restores 1d6 hit points, so long as you have 1 hit point. And if you lose any body parts, you regain them in 1d6 plus 1 days. It is an attunement item, that is all it does. So it gives you passive healing every 10 minutes, so that's quite useful for if you're taking a short rest, because that's additional health.
Would that work on our resident vampire?
Does this work on a vampire?
It counts the same as hit die would.
Okay,
So it
wouldn't
does work. So then it would also work with the
Braces.
with the bracers.
Unfortunately, it is a source of which is magical, so unfortunately it wouldn't work with the braces, but it would
Oh,
work with
yeah.
resident vampirism.
Wait, with resident vampirism?
Specifically Bern.
Yeah.
Well, yes, no, I got that. It's just like you made it seem like that's what Bern had. Wasn't that he was our resident vampire? He's got resident vampirism.
Oh,
Which in
man.
my head suggests he's got little vampires living inside him.
Resident Evil, but it's just Bern.
Are your slimes vampiric?
No, Sam. It's because he got promoted from intern vampire.
Oh, I see.
So, does anybody want the Ring of Regeneration?
If anything, I would.
I don't think so. No.
Does anyone have the
personally
attunement?
like
Oh,
the idea of it, but I
I think it sounds better than it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might be something.
I
rather
think we
than
should hang
trying
on
to
to it
hold
just
on
as
to.
a.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
if we have any,
in the storage.
I mean,
In case anyone loses a limb or whatever.
yeah.
yeah, like I know
Yeah.
I can bring people's limbs back, but if I lose a limb, like if I lose both my arms, I can't cast things. So just put it on my toe and I'll wait a week or something.
Fair.
Just like, why are you wearing a ring on your big toe? Shut up, my arms are regrowing.
Someone who
no.
doesn't know this item exists. What the fuck?
Alright, wand of fireballs.
Mm.
Keep in mind, wands are not attunement.
Really?
Yeah, let's go with Sam.
He can just use it.
Hold would have loved this.
Yeah.
As
Got
that's
that.
the point.
Actually,
ranged
hold on.
weapon.
Some of them.
I-
Hold on. Some of them are actually. I've just realised.
I,
Okay. Wand of enemy detection. Wand of enemy detection is, which is the one you've gotten, correct?
This is page
Is it?
210, correct?
210. Yes. So enemy detection is
Rare
requirement.
opportunity for
Or have you got the magic detection one, Elsyan?
me. Oh no, I've got the
Enemy detection.
enemy detection. Is that
Yes.
attunement?
I've just realised it's attunement. Yes. So
Yes, the Wand of Fireballs is also attunement.
yes, wand of fireballs is also attuned.
Damn.
Okay.
Out of curiosity,
I will say, with the extent of what you've been with the way you've been using the wand, you can use the charges if you're not attuned to it, but then to regain the charges, it must be attuned.
Fair enough.
Just
Out of
just for
curiosity.
general note. So just if you have regained any charges, just take them away.
Yeah, I haven't actually rolled my charges. I've been forgetting to.
Works perfectly then.
So, for the Wand of Fireballs, this wand has 7 charges. While holding it, you can use an action to expend 1 or more of its charges to cast the Fireball spell, save DC 15 from it. For 1 charge, you cast the 3rd level version of the spell. You can increase the spell slot level by 1 for each additional charge you spend. So basically, you have one 9th level fireball saved up in this thing if you expend all of its charges at once.
Yes.
This
Remember
the one
that.
regains 1d. Oh yeah.
Yep. Just remember that it regains charges only when you're going to be attuned to it for that purpose and that purpose only. If you ever end up on 0 charges on a 1, your wand crumbles. So it has a chance to be destroyed. However, that's how I'm going to rule it for this campaign, just because we have been getting it wrong. For next campaign, I'll obviously crack down on it.
Out of curiosity,
Uh-huh.
with the fire gem thing that I have,
Mm-hmm.
would that work with say like the fireball spell being cast from the wand?
Do you mean making it stronger, or do you mean
just the it being able to negate immunity? Where immunity is just basically resistance.
I would say, because it's coming from the item, no. Just because it's specifically coming from the item in that regard.
Okay.
If no one wants it, Rook wouldn't mind taking it for a ranged attack, but I mean,
Keep in
yeah,
mind,
someone
you have
else
to
can
be
utilize it better.
Keep in mind you have to be a spellcaster to use it. All of you have
do you?
some form of spellcasting, even you, Rook, because you have ranger spellcasting, so everyone can use this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, also out of curiosity, would that wand be considered a weapon?
Improvised, so 1 plus your strength mod, yes. It would be considered a focus for arcane casters like Elsyan, but outside of that, no.
I just don't. I'm just making sure it won't get disintegrated when he touches it.
Oh no, it specializes more as an arcane focus. Like it would be an improvised weapon if anything, but then again, so is his fist. You could ask, okay, so if he punches something, does his hand disintegrate? The answer is no.
By the way, weapons don't actually disintegrate anymore. Hence, I've got the sword.
What sword?
Oh yeah, you weren't here for that. I have a massive ass sword now.
Why do you have a massive ass sword now?
Because I'm reluctant about the whole. I don't know. After talking to whoever it was, I went to the Church of Steel, and yeah, the soothsayer showed that the weapon kind of disintegrates. I don't know if it reforms into a new weapon or whether its task is complete, and I'm just going to be standing there like a pleb with no weapon. I might lose the axe after I kill the Prince of Blood. So I might not have a weapon after this fight.
Oh right, yes, you got the sword just in case.
Yeah, which is why I wanted to grab one of the adamantine, because I may have to reforge a weapon.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Do you mind if I actually thinking about it? Do you mind if I hang on to the Ring of Regeneration just as sort of like if someone's like slowly dying, I can just shove that on their finger and be like, "All right."
I mean, do you have to attune to the ring?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they'd have to take a short rest, which would take half an hour, and then they'd start regaining hit points after that.
I mean, we're planning on keeping the ring. I don't particularly mind who wants to
look after
it. If someone wants to carry it, they can.
I would like to as the resident healer. Since now I have yet another reason to not heal you guys, I'll just shove this on your finger and be like, attune to that, you'll be fine.
In the middle of combat, just you'll be fine.
You just have to wait like
throwing fire
100 rounds. Yeah.
So who's going to be taking the
not
wand?
Understand about just don't die.
I mean, I've got a wand and I can cast fireballs.
I mean, if no one takes it, I'll have it, but it's only if no one else wants it, because I'm sure they can utilize it better.
The only really benefit with it is the casting fireballs, and you've got and it's an attunement. And I presume everyone's got items that they quite like being attuned to.
Yeah.
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 So, I mean, in regards to Rook, it's literally a one-off fireball if we're really desperate, but if someone can use it better, go for it.
I mean, I've got
Nah,
one,
I ain't got nothing.
Okay, I'll give it a Rook then. Alright,
Okay.
Boots of Speed. For those of you who don't know what it does, as a bonus action you activate it, and then for a minute you double your walking speed. Any opportunity attacks made against you are with disadvantage, and you can click them again, click your heels again to end the effect. And sorry, the effect lasts 10 minutes. If it's used for a total of 10 minutes, it then ceases to function until you finish a long rest.
Assume this does not double my fly speed.
No. And your walk speed is 0, so it goes from 0 to 0.
Can you
Is
dash
it a
with them?
limit?
Yeah, you can dash, it just doubles your walk speed. So if you have 40 base move speed, that goes up to 80, then you dash to do a total of 160.
And then
I can
activate
have
Zephyr
100
Strike.
movement.
What was that, Malcolm?
I was curious if it was a 2-minute.
Yes, it is.
Immediately has Rook turn away.
Okay, knowing that it's attunement, does anybody want it and intend to use them?
I
Not
mean,
really.
I would love to use it, but
I mean, one of my attunement slots is the Ring of Speed, so I could potentially swap these out. It's just a question of which one is going to be better.
I mean, the Ring of Speed is only like 5 foot extra, whereas this is...
It's 10 feet, but it's passive all the time, whereas these are a bonus action to use, and they have a 10-minute total pool of time you can use them for.
I'd probably say the more overtime one would be better. Just
The
for
Ring of Speed
January.
is definitely better with the action economy, which is a concern.
Yeah, which is usually where it comes up anyway, because in terms of speed, most people would be able to carry you in an opportunity where it was necessary.
This is the thing is if we're just traveling overland, I can cast Fly on myself or ride equally. But
Yeah, which again,
the passive speed all the time.
All right, Rook.
Off ride Rook. Yeah.
okay, I've put it in storage for now. Then, given that, does anybody want the totem of the rat?
Not really. I kind of want to put that up in the tavern, you know, and just like maybe have like a little plaque for our kid in there.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in the tavern then. And the
Oh,
Pearl of Stars.
I wonder how our boy's doing.
And Pearl of Stars, Malcolm, you found it. Did you want to keep it, given that you were the one you're able to cast Astral Projection, I believe? I will just double check. Who can cast Astral Projection?
I can't.
Clerics, Warlocks, and Wizards. So never mind.
Yeah, I can't cast it.
So, Queglod, Sasha, or Elsyan, which one of you wants to carry the one use of Astral Projection?
I mean, is it attunement?
It's a spell scroll. It's the effectiveness of a spell
Right, yeah,
scroll.
okay, with you now. Fuck it. I'll take it.
Alright, Elsyan, you have this.
Yeah, go for it.
Alright, there is your updated list and who has what. Oh yeah, we didn't discuss the crossbows. Or crossbow stuff. Do you want me to just put it in storage for now?
Yeah.
Or Elsyan, do you want to use it?
I mean, if no one else wants it, sure.
Go for it.
You're
No,
not
I
proficient
have-
in hand crossbows though, are you?
I'm not proficient, but
No.
that won't stop me from using it. It just means I don't have proficiency in it.
I mean, it technically does, because you have the +5 total, so...
Well, yeah, exactly. I actually believe it's quite useful still for me.
Yeah.
I am thinking we should probably give it to
Rahal?
Rahal, or talk to it about it with the Emperor's court of badasses, because I feel like one of them has got to be some sort of shady assassin motherfucker.
Mm-hmm.
I presume we saw some sort of shady assassin motherfucker.
You know that in terms of what he has individuals who are spies to a degree, but you never saw any of them.
Essentially making them even better shady assassin motherfuckers.
I did
just
see
saying,
your
if they got,
camouflage training today. Thank you, sir.
I'm just saying, like, if they came along with us, like, things like with bullshit,
Yes,
like,
that means convincing the
on
Empire
top
to
of
actually
Rook.
give us troops.
and then just being
Yeah.
there, like, wait for it, shoots a single, like, super death poison into the Prince of Blood, and it's just like, well, I'm immune to poisons, but fuck, because presumably there's got to be like Demon Bane or something, right? Fiend's Bane?
Poison-wise, or maybe? Who knows?
There's got to be something.
Silver.
I don't know. Maybe it's just like holy water.
It's just liquid silver and an arrow.
I mean, for devils, yes.
Yeah.
For demons, it gets a
Yeah.
little bit more pricey, and you need liquid platinum.
Oh,
my
God.
Alright, so
Jeez.
with the crossbows,
We
Elsyan,
just
did you want to
beat
take
them
them?
to
Or...
death with our
With the
bars of
you know what? Well, I'll take them. If we decide someone to give them to, then great. If not, no worries.
So that's where everything is. Make sure to add those to your inventory. If you're looking for weight, assume that it is 0.5 unless you would know otherwise. So the book, for example, is 5. The hand crossbow has a weight in the player's handbook. Everything else is weight 0.5.
Cool.
Alright. We'll take a quick break there because we've been discussing items for quite a while now. So,
Thrilling of D&D.
yes.
What's the healing of the Supreme Potion?
20d4 plus 20. It's a beautiful thing. That thing will fully heal someone. Even on a roll of all ones, you still heal them 40 hit points. So it's pretty good.
Quite useful.
It's a spasser.
It is. It's a spicy potion. All right.
Hand potion.
All right. So we'll go on break real quick. All right. Be right back. Otherwise, think about what you want to do. If you want to do anything before you go to bed, and if not, when you're going to bed, and how you're taking care of it. Keep in mind that at the moment, because you spent most of the day at the mountain, and because of how time zones go, you had to go back an hour. So in terms of how it is, it's probably around about 5 p.m. So shops will be just closing if you wanted to do any shopping or if you wanted to speak to anybody in particular.
Shish Cree, I've got money.
All right, be right back.
Oh, well, that was
1 minute.
a lot.
We're so obnoxiously rich, it's actually scary.
Ah, I have a
Then
carpet.
We could have been 80% richer.
Just looking at my inventory, it's like, right, Supreme Potion, yeah, Potion of Storm Giant Strength, right, okay. Carpet, perfect. I'm a fan of that one.
Look, you're gonna give it to your wife, and then she's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" And you're gonna say, "Oh, it's a 2,500 gold piece of carpet that I got for you." And she's gonna be like, "Well, you should have gotten yourself back here for your child's birthday," and you're gonna cry, and it'll be great.
No, you're gonna suffocate, and it'll be great. You bad absentee father.
Shut up. I'm not bad.
I mean,
I give Rook a complex. I mean, you're giving Jamie a complex, and it's not even him.
Sorry, buddy.
we don't mean to.
Monsters. That's fine.
I mean, yes, we are.
Alright,
I mean, we play Dungeons and Dragons. Of course, we're monsters. We're all sickly possessed by demons.
It's true.
Yeah.
I actually have to, every time before session now, I always check the world calendar and be like, right, next birthday is wife's birthday. Right, next birthday is wife's birthday. Dear God, I've got to get back for wife's birthday. Can you imagine?
Oh God, if you don't, could you
I feel for Bern,
the bollocking.
because she knows Bern's the one that teleports.
See, here's the thing.
Bro, if you
told
die,
Albert
I'm
to
bringing
remind
your
us of
corpse
those
back.
dates.
I think
Right,
Um,
back in a bit, guys.
that if you, yeah, I think if you didn't turn up and then you didn't turn up and then went, well, Rook wouldn't teleport me as an excuse.
Bern wouldn't teleport me.
Well, Bern wouldn't teleport me. Doesn't fucking matter. Get here.
Get here. That's just when Rook learns teleportation. Man, you don't know. How have you learned teleportation? You're not even a wizard or a sorcerer. No, I know. I have a wife. That's the only spell I know. I've given
It only
all
goes
my magic
one way.
abilities. Yeah, literally, it's just a one-way trip. There's no return. Literally, it's like all of it is like all the incarnation or in writing all around it and everything to go home. Mine is literally just a picture of wife. Right, teleport wife.
Look,
Bam.
you got it's a picture of wife and a little bit fueled by tears.
50,
only way to
50 GP of Rook tears consumed upon casting.
50 GP of Rook tears and 50 GP of Rook blood has to be given. Ugh. Just, my wife's not a bad person, okay? I just want to clear this up.
No, we know that. Rook's a bad person.
He's not a bad person. Oh my god. Yeah, I've got to admit. Yeah, fair. Actually, I can't do that. He's bad. So. He did miss his child's birthday.
Yeah.
Alright, man.
I mean,
DM.
Where were we on his birthday?
I think, if I work it out rightly, I think we're on Romance Ravine.
You know what? Thinking about it, I think Romance Ravine in and of itself is a bad enough punishment.
Yeah, I was trying to work it out. It was...
The Orum's Festival took place... Because after winter you went straight to Oromance Ravine the first time, and then on your way out you teleported, did with Prince of Blood stuff, had all of that, re-met up with Elsyan after a little bit of a time skip, and then you went back in. You were at the Dark Creep Ruin when the Orum's Festival began. Oh no. No, you just come out of the Dark Creep Ruin when Orum's Festival began, because you went back so you could attend the drinking time. And all of that, and the 3 days of drinking. So,
Were we
you were in there for about 10 days. So yeah, you would have been on your second day of travel in Oromance Ravine when you otherwise met, when it would have been your son's birthday.
Okay, so we were in the Hell Pit, not in a tavern getting drunk.
True.
No.
I think it's almost excusable.
Almost.
You tell that to my wife.
No,
I turned around and said, "Oh yeah, on my son's birthday, I was fighting and screaming and running away, crying from giant-ass spiders that spit lava." She'd be like, "I don't give a crap. Get home."
Oh man. All right, so who have we got here at the moment?
Me.
Hello.
I'm here.
Simon is here. Have we got an Infernal, a Sudz, or a Harlan? Harlan's muted, so I assume not a Harlan.
No.
Infernal's here. Okay, so now we're just waiting on Sudz and Harlan. Alright. But yeah, so well, actually, given that, is there anything that you wanted to do before you go to sleep?
Not really.
Oh,
Great. I've got some new money.
Yeah, how much are we spending on the tavern staff as well?
You put the 2,000 in if you want to just say to your manager, just be like,
Bonuses.
just say like, make sure everybody has a bonus, like that sort of thing can work quite well. Zuven.
Well, we should set them up bonuses. We should set aside a fund for like refurbishing bits of it.
Yeah, I mean you have a fair amount of funding in there already. It's just a matter of they haven't had much else to do with it, so. Okay, so do you want to approach Zuven and discuss this with him?
Yeah, I'll see. Once, maybe we can wait for Harlan and... Is it Infernal we're missing?
No, it's Harlan and Sudz.
Harlan and Sudz. Well, if they have any input, we can wait for them to get back. But yeah.
Okay.
I was thinking, also if any of the staff have any input into what sort of refurbishments would be good. They obviously know the place pretty well, and they have to work in it. So.
I know we had this conversation not that long ago, and they wanted to like refurb some tables and stuff, and I know we approved the expense for that.
Yep.
So it's only recently been approved for.
Yes, it was asking for general refurbishment, whether you wanted to make it whether you wanted to make it luxury, or whether you just wanted to upgrade from basic bargain stuff to proper stuff, which you did. And I took the costing out for that, so.
So it's recently had a refurb.
Yeah, you've recently had a refurb in how everything has gone overall, so you've got a fair amount when it comes to that. The only real things that might need a refurbishment is, like, as you say, giving bonuses, and otherwise allowing your staff to potentially purchase more stuff.
From our store!
Maybe setting aside...
Your store sells shields and weapons, so...
Setting aside like a budget maybe for each part of the tavern.
Yeah, you can set apart like different budgets and start Organising
You
that. I
know.
mean, Zuvin does that already. This is why you made him your manager, because he takes
Oh,
care
yeah,
of all of the
fair,
financing.
actually, yeah.
It's just a matter of saying, hey, we would like to approve or like to encourage this particular spending, at which point he'll encourage that kind of spending.
Advertising campaign. We should put leaflets around Adamanthia of just like the Dawnseeker's Tavern. We slayed a dragon.
The Dawnseeker's Tavern. Look us up. We do war crimes.
we do war crimes. Drop meteors on Adamanthia. We're sorry. Just a little writing underneath.
What did we name? What is the name of our tavern?
Shrouded Shalia.
Thank you. Christ. The Shrouded Shalia. We're sorry.
We're sorry. Just an apology campaign. We're sorry.
If we haven't done anything to upset you, we are apologising for when we do in the future.
Yeah.
In other notes, you can also afford to potentially get in more staff, as you do have 3 available bedrooms for available staff for different reasonings. There's nothing that you desperately need, given the size of your tavern. Upgrading to a guild, all that would really do is kind of add more on to what's already there.
Oh, we're gonna need a guild overseer and things like that. Or
Oh,
will they
yeah,
be
yeah.
stationed
There's
in the guild.
But we need the building first.
You need the building first, which takes 60 days to build, so the equivalent of 2 months.
Okay.
And you then need to get a guild broker, who is the individual who otherwise takes care of all of the handling of funds and everything else on their side. So there's So
Also,
we'll probably need some other staff as well. For...
We'll probably need a receptionist. But we need to look at. Elsyan needs to go do some research into some anime on what guilds need.
In terms of what I have for what your guild needs a guild broker and someone to manage one of each of the stations necessary, which includes a manager, a chef, a innkeeper, a healing team member, and someone to man the rookery, which is usually just a housekeeper.
Can some of these roles be taken up can multiple roles be taken by one person?
Yes, to a degree. However, the busier they become, it becomes an exponential growth as pay because they have to do a lot more jobs.
Well,
so it's better to hire multiple people. Keep in mind the guild
is
gives you rooms as well for this.
If the goal of this guild is to take in sort of fledgling adventurers and help sort of train them and direct them towards the big problems that are facing, we might need trainers and stuff like that.
So what we need to do is we need to find skilled individuals that are willing to work for. Well, skilled individuals willing to learn, but more importantly, those who are willing and capable of teaching, because there's a distinct difference between being able to teach someone and knowing how to do something.
Yes, something to note about how the guild functions in this system is that you pay the people who are the staff. So, for example, like I said, the manager, the chef, the innkeeper, the healing team individuals, and then the housekeeper who takes care of all the other management. You then have the rooms there, you have the tavern stuff. That will all come as part of being attached to your tavern. The main thing of note to kind of go along with all of this is that when it comes down to the guild itself, you will establish who your guild leader is. They don't receive any extra benefits outside of being able to pick any quest they would like. They have priority and say, and they are on the equivalent level as the manager when it comes to the association of funds and something similar. So they effectively become the second person in charge. Right now, Zuvin's in charge because he's an owner of the tavern. The manager for the guild broker will be the guild leader. This person will either manage finances, or they'll be or they'll work with Zuvin for managing finances.
Okay. I just want to throw this name out there for the guild, because of course a guild needs a name. What about if we're taking fledgling adventurers under the wing of the Dawn Marshals, or the Dawn Seekers? What about Dawn Squires?
Drunken Serpentine.
Dude. I have our branding on point, and then there's you coming in here.
But
Oh,
with
God.
this being a guild, there's a lot of choices to kind of go with this. You do know that you can hire some pre-existing people who are adventurers. There are some adventurers that you do know, some that you have seen. Nagriel is one who doesn't belong to a guild. There are other guilds that do exist within Adamanthia, but they are very few and far between. The only one which you really know of which is notable is the Broken Sword. And they were mostly broken down and became the one that is the tower in the center of town, which is the main site for adventurers. So you'd be more likely building a small community of individuals who like working with one another.
Oh, we
Oh, God.
basically, considering it's us lot and it's going to be a guild that are going to be sort of like joining mostly because of the reputation we've got. Basically, we're going to create fairy tale, aren't we?
Yes, we
do we
are.
Need,
We
do
are.
we need someone that's going to be a spokesperson to apologise to the Emperor every 4 seconds for actions of our guild?
Okay, we need to find a really pissed off old man to be the guild leader. Who also... Oh, God.
Well, you killed one already, so all you gotta do
Yeah,
is resurrect
you
him and
killed the
you'll
one
be
we
fine.
could've hired.
I don't think he'd want to work for us.
He'd want to work for the 5 of you. He wouldn't want to work for Elsyan.
Half.
Yeah. Outside of that, it's a retirement plan for one of you lot. So there's a lot of things that you can play with there. You can obviously hire certain people for different guilds, or you can see what happens. It's still got to be built. I
mean, I like the thought of us just occasionally running training sessions for any like guild members that want to appear, and it's just us spouting random bullshit for like an hour at adventures. Just like, you see this, you run. You see this, run. See this guy? See him looking all edgy? This is the King of Blood. We killed him. I mean, obviously this is gonna.
Every
you
single
would
again,
run.
you run.
You would run
If
from
you
this.
see him, run. If you don't have this axe, run. If you do have this axe, hi Rook, where are you?
It'll get down to the point of like, right, each of you have got your different way of training the newbies. That I imagine Rook is going to be like, what's his face from Dodgeball? I'm literally just going to have like my axe and throwing axe and stuff. If you can dodge an axe, you can dodge an enemy. Throwing axes at the newbies.
If you can dodge an axe, you can dodge a fireball. The
Yeah.
5 Ds of adventuring. Dex, dive, and dex.
And then there's Malcolm just over off in his own corner, just like, all right, just try not to get eaten.
Yeah. Hey,
You got Elsyan who's getting them to run errands, trying to fake a Mr. Miyagi style thing. Of, look, I need you to go get my dry cleaning. What does this do? Run there and back. It's fitness training.
God.
Just go. First one there doesn't get a permanent headache.
So, Sasha's been a while. So, is there anything you wanted to discuss and do before you went to bed? Obviously, Queglod, you wanted to speak with Zuvan. We got 5 out of 6 people here, so if you want to do that now, you can. Or we can just say that you had the discussion about managing funds and making sure that everyone gets a bonus. If you want.
No, we can actually do it. I mean, what do people think would be? How much do we actually pay them? I'm just taking.
It varies on what they're hired for.
Yes. So most of your guards are paid 10 to 15 gold. It depends because you do have some guards who are paid slightly less. For example, the 2 twins that you got, Vardra and Peneva, because they take up 2 rooms but they count as 1 guard position, they get paid 20 rather than 15, but they're 2 people rather than 1. Borox, who guards the Undercity, is paid the same as any other guard. Your 2 cooks are paid alongside your chef. Again, they're 15 gold. Your chef is the leader of that, so he gets paid more. Your manager gets paid 15 gold, which you look at it and it's like, oh, that's less, but he also doubles as a barkeeper, so he gets paid more because of that. Barkeeper gets paid 12 naturally. You've got your bar hands, each of them getting paid 8 gold a week. Gardener gets paid 10. She should get paid more technically, but she's a dryad. She was summoned, so she doesn't get. She's being paid by law, but she's spending her money on expanding the garden. So, meh. Housekeepers, they get paid 6 gold a week.
I feel they should
Um,
be getting paid more considering our rooms.
I mean,
But we're
to,
not
we're
home
home.
a lot of the time.
you're
so...
not there a lot of the time, so most of the time it's just
Hello.
making
Sorry
sure
I
that
was
everything's
gone
okay.
so long.
That's fine. Just discussing who's getting paid what. Your shop hand gets paid 8. Your shopkeeper gets paid 12. Your income, you can ignore your income tax. That's
Is
based
not
on.
shopkeeper also Abbott?
No. Your shopkeeper is this guy down here, Lenel Flint. Your shop hand is one of your housekeepers, I believe, from what I have written down. You also have your 2 healing team members who are paid 15 gold a week. Your bookie is paid 5 because they get a small portion of the shares from the fighting pit. And your caravaneer who does things moving around gets paid 8, and Abod gets paid 44 because he is your.
Well, he's a mod.
Oh no, you are no. Sorry, Harlan, you are quite correct. He is your shopkeeper, or he's your one of your shop hands, alongside being your mage and your resident astronomer.
Yeah, we probably owe him a bit more money now that I think about it.
He gets paid
Can
44
we-
gold a week. That's not bad. Plus, he makes a bunch of stuff using your supplies because that's what you pay him. So he takes a portion of it away. So.
Out of curiosity,
Mhm.
just for curiosity's sake, if we doubled all of their wages, could we still make profit just
No.
from how? Okay.
You're making, so let's say this, if we didn't include, let's see, so if we took your upkeep from other sources other than tavern members, that would be your maintenance, your income tax, which is a total of 87 plus 37 plus 31, so it's plus 68, 87 plus 68 is 155 gold. So if you were to up everybody else out of the 155, you would be doubling 345 effectively. So, and you're currently making 131, so you'd be making a loss of about 200 gold a week if you did that. But obviously with the guild coming in, and if you ended up doing community projects, that would obviously expand that, so it depends.
I
on what
suspect
you
the
do.
guild would probably operate at a loss originally when we first set it up. If we wanted to
It will be the
good.
same as your tavern. It will operate at a loss initially because obviously it won't have members. But then once it's fully registered and it starts going through, it will be people can go there to do quests, or it can be like another part of it. Given you're in the northern portion of this town, you'll be attracting visitors only from Orum's Anchor. So most of them would be seasoned adventurers if they come here.
But
'Cause-
when word gets around that the Dawnseekers have got, a guild.
Some people will want to join, yeah.
And some people will be like,
Famous.
we want to go and see what the hell's going on with this lot. Like, we want to see the train wreck that these guys have created.
So there will need to be recruiting processes and stuff like that, but that's all for once the
Yeah.
guild is finished, once you name it, and what you want to do regarding the people you're paying there. So yeah,
Which I think we should get the building built first. And
Yeah.
then-
bonus-wise for what you could give to everybody, just gonna quickly look through how many people you have hired and who you have on that list. So I'm in the wrong document. Hold on. Hiring people. How many bullet points are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So if you were to pay everybody 50 gold bonus, which is pretty much triple some people's wages, that would cost you 1,600 gold.
We could do that, couldn't we?
You have 9,872 in there, so taking out 1,600 to basically give some people triple wages for a short while it's quite a lot for some people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that. Depends
It
on the
would
rest of
boost
us.
morale, I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but then they get a point where they thought they had all this money, and like that's. We've
Well,
got
no,
to.
because as long as they're it's told that basically, it's
This
a
is a-
one-off bonus.
Yeah.
Okay, what if we tell them you can either have a one-off bonus of 50 gold, or we can up your monthly or weekly salary by X amount forever.
I think we should give him a bonus.
I think we should give him a one-time bonus. It's easier for us to keep track of.
Yeah.
I know we
Honestly,
don't do
fair.
a lot of the operating of the business, but they should profit
We have,
from
in
us.
fairness, been pretty busy recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also
But-
only been up for 7 to 8 months, so a large portion of that was winter. So,
And we still made profit.
oh yeah, you almost always make profit because of the location where you are. You have the dwarfen economy here.
Okay, we have genuinely picked the perfect point for a
Yeah,
tavern.
because of where
The
you are, the
dwarves.
majority of the people who come into your tavern are humans and dwarves because you're part of the mining and blacksmithing area, which means you have 14 dwarven patrons and 11 human patrons. So they're people who come in often and buy more. You have 79 dwarves on average and 63 humans on average. Dwarves drink 5 drinks on average per night, whereas humans drink 2. So you make a
Lightweights.
lot of money because of your dwarves.
Fair.
Yeah, and meal-wise, they also eat 2 meals a night, roughly. And again, you have 14 patrons, and 56 average dwarves will buy meals. So,
Fair dues. No, my vote is for the one-time pay raise. Oh, one-time bonus.
oh yeah, I forgot. You're also in the month when when Fredor's family is in town. So you have 37 goblins currently hanging out in your inn.
Nice.
Just the way I always wanted it.
Yeah, I think they disappear at the once the Bloom Festival begins, so they'll be here for another week or 2. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, so one-time bonus for them.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will make that edit. Taking away 1,600 means that will put them at 8,200. Okay. Cool. Is there anything else you would like to do before you go to sleep?
I don't think so.
Before-
Oh, screw. Sorry, Sudz. I interrupted there. You go.
I was just gonna make a suggestion, concerning the tavern stuff as well. If we have, like, fair amounts of money in the tavern or whatever, or somebody feels like actually doing it, could we do the boost against, like, around times when festivals would happen and give, like, the staff, like, the first day of festivals off so they can go and enjoy the festivals a little bit?
You can afford the loss.
Yeah, if we can afford the loss, yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't want them to always have to be inside it during festivals and stuff. I'd like to let them to actually be able to enjoy them too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I presume they can decide when to take, like,
Yeah,
holiday
they
off.
can decide to take holiday off, and they otherwise speak to Zuvin about that because you're not managing it.
Yeah.
Finally. So Zuvin manages who gets what shift, who has to do what extra workload. And for them, it ends up being you take time off, it's 50% pay, and then that 50% pay goes to the other person covering your shift.
I mean, our position in this company is effectively investors with a bit more control.
Yeah, effectively.
What is technically, because who technically owns the tavern, or has the rights to the tavern?
You
or...
guys.
Do
Oh,
all of
no.
us?
Did we all, or wasn't it some? Because I'm pretty sure you said it was in the end. It was just 2 people at the moment.
In how it currently is, your party under the name of the Dawn Seekers, so anybody who is under the Dawn Seekers banner, is otherwise
Right.
owned to the tavern. In terms of the staff, who would otherwise recognise as people in charge, would be Sudz and Queglod, because or Malcom and Queglod, because the 2 of them are the ones who hired and otherwise manage this to a more finite amount.
Yeah.
When it comes down to each of them, you have your own personal relationships with each person. So Sasha gets on quite well with Sina, because she works in the forge, as would Bern. However, when it comes down to it, Rook probably only really has a good relationship with Angus because he's the cook and chef, as does Malcom. So it kind of depends, and it becomes very taken aback most of the time. But outside of that, it would be a matter of going. The people in charge are mostly Malcom and Queglod.
And that's just from that viewpoint. So
That's
the
just the
Dawn
viewpoint of
Seekers,
people.
Dawn Seekers in of themselves are their own entity.
Yes,
Right.
they are their own entity, so the tavern is under their control. The same would happen with the guild. It would go under either one person's name, if you wanted to have it under one person's name, or under the Dawn Seekers because it's being conjoined to the tavern.
I think with that we should go the Dawn Seekers. For the
Yeah,
guild.
understandable.
Sort of make sure that the name is there officially, and
Yeah.
United under one banner, really, all of it.
it also means that if this party changes, it doesn't mean that we're going to have to suddenly deal with passing it on to someone else. And
No. It
means-
falls under the Dawn Seekers banner because that's the name that you went with when it was given to you by Hurricane.
Fair. Okay. Well, otherwise I haven't got anything to do, so if anyone wants to do stuff before bed, go for it.
Elsyan, you want to go see Shishkri?
I want to go see Shishkri. I want to see my favourite reptilian friend.
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh. Let's see then. 27?
27. Looking around, at this current time, you don't see Shishkri anywhere, but when you kind of investigate and look around, he is currently busy preparing wares for the Bloom Festival.
Ah.
He is currently preparing for his new spring range to come in. From kind of asking around and understanding what that is preparing for summer to a degree, but most of it includes things like nice dresses for anyone who would otherwise want to wear those, and otherwise suits and more flowery attire for all kinds of individuals. However,
likes that stuff.
and floral attire.
Okay.
However,
Okay. He's an elf, of course he does.
However, his range usually has a theme, as you know from previous experience, and this is what he went with last year, kind of having a flowery attire. So it may not be the same this year, but given it's the Bloom Festival, it may be plant related in some regard or have some plant theme. So some particular flower or plant.
Okay.
But he's preparing for the festival. So right now he's not making anything specific, and he doesn't have anything for sale until he's finished making his new line.
Oh.
Oh, I just had a thought.
What?
My strawberry stones are coming in the season soon.
Yes, end of the Bloom Festival is when they're in their prime, which is when your Dryad will proceed to harvest them, which is the ingredient that you need... No. That's the ingredient for the superior healing potions and for your pies.
I've got
for
to say,
Supreme, it's the Death Sun's Kiss flowers,
Yes. Yes.
which is late summer.
I'm just looking forward to strawberry stones, because, like, strawberry stone pie, that makes some money.
Oh, I've got to say, I do like this party, how we're dealing with existential threat of the of the King of Blood. And then, but how much should we pay our tavern workers that may be dead in a month's time?
At least they get a last hurrah before they die.
That's true. Do we tell them that the world might end if we die?
Nah.
We just let it happen? Okay.
Part of the fun of it, isn't it? I mean,
If it's going to happen, I'm sure they'll find out soon.
yeah. Well, when we all die, maybe they'll be like, "Oh shit, this could be bad," and it's fine.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like we die, the hollow ends over the tavern, and some random undead just walks in.
I will say one thing that you do know, because I remember it was previously mentioned, that if the Dawnseekers get wiped out, all ownership goes to Zuven of the tavern and all of this. So keep that in mind, that if you do get TPK'd, Zuven is the one in charge of the tavern, which isn't a bad thing because he's your manager, but
I think he'd do a good job.
Yeah, he will. He won't. You know what? I think if we die, if they manage to recover our bodies somehow, they should mount our heads on the wall.
put them on spikes outside.
These are the previous owners. Please, make us an offer to buy this land.
Oh my god.
So, is there anything else you wanted to do before you go to bed?
No.
No.
I mean, since we might leave, I was kind of curious. I would like to go check Mr. Pet Shop Owner's stock.
Okay.
See if he got anything new.
Roll me an investigation check.
Investigation 21.
Okay. As you go down, you find Jimny otherwise busy at work, otherwise just handling various animals. You see that at the moment he currently has like these cages with his nests in of other small birds and something similar, it being spring. They're like breeding pairs or something similar, kind of clutches of eggs and things beginning to hatch. You also see a number of small baby bats clinging to their mothers who are otherwise hanging off of these large cages of with these large branches partway through. Given the climate, there's not really anything interesting. There's the typical pets that you've seen before: owls, bats, and birds, which is mostly what he specializes in. Outside of that, you don't see anything else which catches your attention.
Has he heard of anything interesting?
As you're otherwise conversing with him, discussing various matters regarding animals, he does mention that since the forest, the Enchanted Glade, has turned, some interesting specimens and new species of creature have begun to arise, mostly insects, which he is intrigued in, and he is planning on going and trying to capture a few at some point, but he also knows it's extremely dangerous. But he mentions that there are new species of creature that are rising up in the Enchanted Glade now that it's changed and turned. He also mentions that they're also planning to rename the Enchanted Glade, given its current change. That's fine.
So what you're telling me is that I need shock traps and trank bombs.
Not that big. Not that big when it comes to creatures. Most of what's being mentioned is like small, like specific scarabs or something similar that comes up.
Okay. Well, that's it for me then.
Okay. Anyone else?
No.
Bern, Queglod?
No, not for me. Now that we've got the bonus sorted.
I don't think of it.
I guess I'll just be doing more forging with Forge Storm.
Okay.
Oh, maybe practicing. Well, I don't know if this is feasible. Could I try and summon the lava elemental to use to heat my forge?
Okay. Otherwise, using Forge Storm to that degree, you kind of take Forge Storm, slamming it on the anvil, and otherwise proceeding to cast the spell. A portion of the lava begins to drip and ooze off the edge of Forge Storm. As you hold it into the fire, you watch as the lava elemental peels away, beginning to kind of conjure itself, pulling itself upright, and just waiting within the fire as it almost crosses its arms across its lower body and waits for metal or something similar, acting similar to how Calcifer does for Bern.
Nice. Yeah, I'm going to be making some. I'm going to start off making that plaque for my son, my little rat son.
Okay. Go ahead and give me. Actually, I better ask. What are you making it out of, and what is the general intention of what you're making?
There's a part of me that's like going. Frankly, we've got so much of it. I could just make it out of straight up platinum. However, I feel that would be something of a waste.
Liable to be stolen.
Do we have any brass or bronze or other sort of copper alloys? Something that's got a bit something, or I'd also or was it Xandrox? Anything with that sort of shade, that sort of
I believe Xandrox is a higher tier metal. It would be more resilient, but it would also
I
cost
think it's not
more.
Xandrox I'm thinking of. I'm thinking the other one, the one that's like gun something.
Oh, the one that's
Gunny.
gunmetal.
Yeah. Except you described it as like brassy, which I thought
Yeah.
was interesting.
Hold on. Let me quickly get. Need a list of. Nope, not in this one. I believe it's in lists. Lists of metal equivalents. Here we go. Gunmetal is blast steel.
Blast steel.
Xandrox is the equivalent of Magnox IRL.
Right. But yeah, anything that's like that sort of shade of sort of brassy, bronzy color would be ideal for our. I think you're gonna hate me for this. Our tavern's aesthetic. So I'm thinking that would be nice to like set up on a little shelf somewhere, along with the little rat chrysoberyl totem.
Okay. Okay. What's your plus to this? Using your smith tools.
Smithing.
Yes.
Well, it depends which
Strength.
thing I'm using to do it. Strength, it's +4 on that, so yep, that would be, I believe, +9. Yeah, +9.
You also get the +1 from your hammer as well.
That is true. So
I'm
that
back.
would be
So 10. Welcome back.
+10.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So DC wise, it's pretty easy. Go ahead and make me a smithing tools check then, please. As you otherwise go into the, as you go into the forge, kind of preparing the alloys, you place them in the crucible and you hand it off to your lava elemental, who begins to slowly drool and heat the alloy.
A dirty 20.
You watch as the metals begin to slowly meld together, kind of forming this alloy in the conventional means, before it passes the crucible back, which is boiling hot, and kind of pouring it into a mold for you. You prepare the alloy for the ingot cast. It's cast and prepared, and then prepare to heat it up. Once again, preparing to softly bend it to the necessary shape that you want, which you said was just going to be like a flat housing for this.
Yeah, it's just sort of like a plinth with a little plaque on it.
Okay, go ahead and make me a second smith tools check then, please. Follow up for this. Okay.
25.
You, taking the softened metal, you begin to hammer it out using Forge Storm. It maintains the heat of it and kind of keeps it soft. It's a little strange getting used to this new system. Previously, it was a matter of applying different levels of pressure to otherwise even it out. But with Forge Storm, you find that the metal remains softer for longer, allowing you to more evenly spread it all out as you begin to kind of pad it out for all of this. You slowly but surely work away at this, spending the better part of the evening, and it begins to get dark outside. The lanterns are lit. Cena heads back inside for rest. As the cold weather and the light winds set in, you slowly but surely finish off the piece. You have the plaque. As you take the plaque, heading back into the tavern itself is empty apart from Zuvan and the bar hands, Sheba and Fredor, otherwise wiping down the tables. Where would you like to place it within your tavern?
I want it. Oh, that's difficult. I kind of want it in relatively plain view, but I want it in like a high enough shelf that it's not easy to get a hold of.
So around there, then,
yeah.
along with the rest of your display cabinet that you've got there.
Yeah, it's the best option we got.
Okay.
The plaque will read something along the lines of, "To my favorite hell rat."
Here lies my hell rat.
Okay. Taking the plaque and with the wording upon it, you place the Chrysabel totem inside of the rat. The rat up on its hind legs, like its paws brought together in almost like a gimme motion. Its tail kind of coiled around the side of its body as it otherwise sits there on this small platform inside this inside the blast steel housing. As you otherwise place it there, it looks interesting, and it does stand out along with the rest of this, but it is an interesting conversation piece to be sure. As Zuva looks over it, kind of nods. Good night, Sasha.
Oh, Knight. How are you doing, Zuvan?
Not too bad, thank you. It's been busy past few weeks, but not too bad.
Oh, yes. It was quite fun earlier, wasn't it? Bringing in the hall.
Yes, the others told me about that. It was a very interesting adventure I imagine you've been on, to bring back that much anyway.
Well, it did involve killing a dragon, which, let me tell you, not easy.
No, they're not.
Worst thing is, this one had a horrible skin condition. You know, I do worry about what's going on with dragons and their you know their health care. I mean, he literally didn't have scales. It was all skin, and then he was covered in ice. Like,
Ooh.
that's got to be bad for something, right?
It's got to be uncomfortable. Can't imagine what it would be like to not have scales. And kind of just looks at his own. Anyway, I need to get sleep for the early morning rise.
Yeah, same
So-
here. Sleep well.
Yes, you too.
And okay, I know I'm not actually here, but I'm imagining I'm heading off for the night.
Yeah. He heads to his respective room. The others kind of tie things down. Sheba goes over and locks the door to the main way in. You see that Shen otherwise moves over to his room. Displacer Beast going with, kind of blinking through and kind of making its way through the corridors down the hallways. As he moves past, you kind of see the tavern looking around. The shutters are shut, the door is closed. It looks fairly peaceful and silent at this time. Tables around, chairs up.
Oh, who has the golden alarm thread?
Me.
Malcom, I believe. Yeah.
Malcolm, are you amenable to me borrowing that? I was thinking of setting up in front of my door so that if Elsyan has a another nighttime adventure,
You were going
it
to be
would
sleeping
wake
in
me
the
up.
mansion,
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
yes,
but you can still use it inside of the mansion. So
is that okay or?
Sure.
I
Fine.
presume I give it back to him every morning, as like sort of when he's doing breakfast, just like there you go.
yeah. Okay. So as you all go to bed at Elsyan Casting Magnificent Mansion, are you heading to your own tower or Trish's?
Yes, I've got to step to my own mansion actually.
In which case, take it away.
Oh boy. Okay.
Presumably,
Time
I'm
for-
allowed to come with you, right?
Oh, you're all going there.
You can
Oh,
all come.
all of us.
You can all come in if you want. I mean, Elsyan was going to go in and have a meditate, but fine. It's just a shack with Farnsworth stood outside.
Is that, like the portable cabins that the builders put down while they're
More
Kind of that.
than
I'm
not
working
so
on it.
magnificent
Leave me
mansion.
be.
There's just a big under construction site behind it.
No, what you see is in front of you is, as far as is physically possible, you see this beautiful marbled wall with large glass windows. I want you to imagine a Georgian-style stately home. This front door has 6 pillars, all made out of solid marble, and it is all very ostentatious. Behind these are large wooden doors, rounded at the top. As you step in, you see by the way, on the approach up, you see very well laid out flowers and in nice arrangements. All seem to be maintained by a field of Farnsworths. Step in, and it's just a lovely grand home. You see, there's this sort of foyer area. There's a room behind that seems to be, what's the term for it? Oh, it's a room you retire to.
Living room?
Yeah. What was that? Not living room.
Living room?
Actually, no, this will be a living room. There's a living room with a large window, and you look out and you see a small garden encompassed by on the right-hand side. it's not a compass, but you've got the wall that you're on, and on the right-hand side, there's another long, just line of building. This garden in one corner. You've got a lovely little forge. You've got a swimming pool in the other corner. And the rest is just this wonderful lawn that you see. Behind trees and an orchard. It's all very, very ostentatious. If you want a room here, it probably exists.
Okay.
Sam, commission. Please
Chris.
make Miss in The Sims.
Oh, that's tempting. I'm going to do my best. Super while I install Sims 3. I'm not doing this Sims 4.
That's fair.
It should be noted that we do have a Minecraft server.
This is also true.
Oh,
Yes, Sam, you're...
it's me. Is marble in Minecraft?
Andesite is.
Yeah.
And if that
Get
is
to me.
what there's
Quartz is, yeah.
I
What's
will
an episode?
build a very elaborate mansion in Minecraft. I just need the resources.
We'll figure that out. But anyway, for now, as you all kind of see this interesting interior, decorated with a variety of tables, chairs, and otherwise natural
Portraits of
decorations. Portraits of Elsyan in his many stages of life, most of them in his prime. You see...
There is a picture of just a pile of ash.
I was gonna ask that. I was gonna ask.
Elsyan can poke fun at himself.
Yeah.
There's also above the fireplace in this main living room. That there is a picture of him and the rest of the party. Stood there looking fairly serious, like we've been stood for a portrait for hours. But of course, we never had to. And of course, there's Farnsworth with a tea caddy, just constantly.
Yeah. Sorry. Now I'm just thinking of the butler from Lara Croft just wandering around.
Right, if you were, you can obviously go back to the tavern if you wish, but there should be rooms here for each of you. If you want customization, let me know. I can fix this place up.
Okay then.
Honestly, this is a fucking great spell.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll back.
Fair. Okay.
it is
I'm
impressive.
gonna hunt down any recommendation as to where we'll find our rooms.
Farnsworth,
Yes, sir.
could you take our guests to each of their rooms?
Of course, sir.
Thank you, Farnsworth.
He otherwise gestures kind of towards the doorway on the right for the long building that extends downwards. As he wanders over you watch as he opens the double doors down to this otherwise long, grand hallway, kind of the wooden, the otherwise polished and varnished wooden floor underneath kind of a central rug and carpet leading all the way down. Sculptures of each of the party members stand opposite their door, which has a small plaque on them, reading a name and a small little title for each of you. However, upon approach, they all seem to be written in Elvish.
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 Read that.
Well, more specifically, Sylvan written in Elvish text.
Sylvan
I
and
still
Elvish
can't
script.
read that.
So if you speak and read Sylvan or Elvish,
do.
you can vaguely understand it.
I can speak
I
Sylvan.
can't.
Just Rook, all round great guy, but absentee father.
You son of a!
What, you think Elsyan wasn't gonna mess with you?
Alright, hold up. What
I
does
gotta
my
kick his
name
ass.
say? Featherwing can read it.
I don't.
You
What
other-
you've got. Oh, I've got a thought for this.
Okay.
What you've got underneath your name is actually scratched out quite heavily, but you can make it out that it might
Oh
just say.
no! Oh no!
You just say, "Daddy."
Alright, Malcolm's leaving. He's gonna go make his stuff now. He's done.
What? Where you going, Malcolm? No, don't do. Oh, it was the daddy stat. I should fix that properly at some point.
I want you to know I don't read Elvish, but I'm fucking judging you.
Okay. Okay. This
Sasha,
place is literally built from my own mind.
Sasha, you note that there's no statue of you. There is also no statue of Elsyan, however.
I'm
this
judging you
corridor.
so hard.
Oh.
Where's my statue, Elsyan?
It's in the room.
Wait, what?
It's in the room. What, do you think I'm giving us a room the same size as theirs? No, we've got a really big room.
Oh, okay. I'll be honest, I thought it was kind of a just for, I thought you were doing a weird thing where if your Daddy Malcolm thing.
Okay, that Daddy Malcolm thing was entirely a joke, and it worked exactly how I expected.
Was it entirely a joke?
Okay, right. I'm fairly certain this place has accidental parts of my psyche seeped into it. But it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay. You all go to your respective rooms, with the exception of Malcolm, who goes back to his room in the tavern.
Very sensible.
Yeah.
His
Each of your
entire room
respective
has plaques made
rooms-
out of that thing.
Going into each of your rooms, they are otherwise a four-poster bed, well decorated in an elvish style, kind of a softer side to them. Relatively strange for some of you in particular. Rook, for you, you've kind of got the more sturdy style of bed, just softer cotton sheets, kind of just wonderful in that regard. Bern, you have the same sort of thing. Queglod, yours, unlike the rest, is a waterbed. And as you otherwise kind of lie down on it, you begin to sink and roll around, and it's a very strange experience. It's some kind of elvish technology, you're unsure. But
Don't know why I did that. Maybe it's a personification of my fear of Queglod.
But it's surprisingly relaxing, kind of just lying on it, just sinking in it for the moment. Felipe hops around and pokes it for a moment, and there's kind of this moment where there's just a sound as you watch as water begins slowly pouring out of it, before you watch as a kind of a spectral Farnsworth comes over, wipes its hand over the surface of it, and you watch as it's mended, before bowing and leaving.
Good man. Good man.
You see in each of your rooms respective areas to hang your armor and weapons in preparation for this. You see across each of your rooms the kind of decorations that symbolize each of you in Elsyan's head. So for you, Rook, you have more Barrenlandish designs.
I want you to know there is a pit in the corner of the room.
I was gonna say there's a pit in the corner of the room that's just like this dusty hole. And you see...
Just gonna go on record, Rook has like this really unimpressed look about his face, just like, son of a...
There's also a large number of skulls just hanging around the room, but they're all different in their own way, and you don't recognize these as creatures that you've ever seen. They're just weird made-up things. For Bern, your room is a little bit more interesting. The floor itself is not slatted with wood. It is a kind of a soft iron sand underfoot, and as you wander in, it's a little bit weird to be in this kind of environment. But you see that the walls themselves are made from these sheets of glowing blue and brass metal. You see flames that dance across them in an illusory fashion, and the four-poster bed itself is also made from reinforced iron in a carved and swirling fashion, similar to the towers in the ether. As you otherwise sit down on the bed and kind of have a look around, you see an illusory large form of one of those large metallic worms go across the horizon as an illusion through one of the through one of the walls. It's a weird space to be in for sure, but it feels strangely at home with you. And Sasha and Elsyan, as you go into Elsyan's room. You describing this, or shall I?
Yeah, so I'll describe this. As you step in, you find that there's a small little area in the front that's slightly lower than the rest of the room, with two lightly raising up sets of stairs either side, and you see this large statue in the center. Two statues of Elsyan and Sasha stood next to each other. As you step in, you see that there's on the left. You see this area which has this large four-poster bed, much like the other rooms, in a very elven style. And then on the right, you see a sort of, I don't want to say a living room, but a space to relax in. That's done as in Elsyan's best imagining of a very comfortable dwarven room to relax in.
Also, we think there's like comfy rocks for them to sit on.
No, Elsyan, no. There's chairs made out of stones with cushions inlaid in them. Come on, Elsyan's not a complete philistine. And there's a balcony that looks over the garden and the and the orchard that goes on forever afterwards. I mean, it's only illusion that it goes on forever. There is a limit, but
there's a wall eventually.
There's literally an invisible wall out there. As you can see down, there's the forge down there. Just tantalizingly close.
No.
And there's also a bathroom with a large walk-in bath. Sort of think Roman style size bath. That's there.
Genuinely, I don't know what to say, Elsyan. This is genuinely lovely.
Oh, I'm glad. I really am. And we have an army of Farnsworths to look after us. Well,
I'll be honest, that is cool, but at the same time a little concerning.
I'll get some more faces for them, don't worry. That was a even creepier thing to say, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna download a couple of new faces.
I'm going to go into the bath. You're welcome to join me.
No, don't worry. I'll just go sleep.
Right.
No, meditate. Enjoy your bath.
Right. I am going to, presumably, Elsyan, crosses his legs. So once he does that, I'm going to, oh, God. I'm going to pop a quick kiss on the forehead and then head over to the baths to clean off all the soot and what have you that's no doubt gotten on me over the course of forging shit.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to know that everyone else does have a bathroom, a proper one.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
That pile of dirt is just a joke.
It gets even better when Rook has to use his investigation check to find the hidden door to get to the bathroom.
You have the shovel is actually a lever. It's great.
Oh man. So, as you each bed down to sleep slowly but surely, Malcom in the tavern, you slowly but surely get to sleep, proceeding to get a long night's rest, no interruptions, with one exception. Rook. As you're otherwise bedding down to sleep, you fall asleep nice and easily, get to rest in this new, comfortable bed. It's interesting, it supports you, it's a very welcome place. And your vision is taken away from you, momentarily, thrust to a far-off place. You stand on a stone surface, carved and cut. You see braziers around you lit. You see pillars, otherwise reaching upwards, and a stone overhang. You watch as momentarily this kind of darker interior lights up as you begin to settle to your surroundings. And there's a flash of blue light, and you watch as this red tear begins to form. As you watch as it peels open and outwards. You watch as a figure walks out. You watch as the Prince of Blood, no longer a prince, decorated in gold and black armor, large blades along a pauldron and the armor itself, stepping out, a crown weaved of bone and obsidian atop his head, as he wanders out and looks about and over to a form standing next to you, or floating next to you. A few inches off the ground, a skin scribe is there. He bows, his hand outstretched. You watch as the cloth begins to slowly unravel as he performs a natural bow to the King of Blood, as he now is. The king nods back and takes a step forward. Stepping from behind him and through the same tear, you watch as the once blind butcher, previously pale and white-skinned, with kind of a tarnished red that was light and faded around his wrists and hand, and the butcher's cleavers that you otherwise saw were previously embedded in the stonework of the pillars. You see him wander out, the large cloth heavily placed over the top of him, marking his otherwise blind eye. And you see the large jaw of his, open and dripping. You see his form coated in these thick weave of red tattoo-like markings, thick and burning across his entirety of his form, his hands drenched black with the thick ink and coat of blood. The cleavers, each of them a layer of orange rust along the edge, with a slow trickle of blood which falls, drips to the ground, and dissipates in a perpetual stream of it as he wanders out carrying the 4 cleavers behind the Prince of Blood. A large and very imposing figure, and you immediately get a sense of your heart racing. As you instinctively take a step back, you find yourself locked in place. And you watch as one final figure steps out from behind him. A massive form, 30 feet high, massive wings wrapped in adamantine chains. You see the head of which is otherwise ornamented with massive horns that reach up and out, a flaming flail to his side as he wanders out, the Pit Fiend General, stepping out with these large hoof-like feet, clad in a heavy metal reinforced plating, taking a step out and ornamented with these different decorations. He looks around and looks down, otherwise respectively towards his king. You watch as the Queen of the Taratan steps out from beside the Skin Scribe and wanders close. She embraces the king as he looks to the Skin Scribe and says, "What of my brother? Have you located him yet?" You haven't heard the Skin Scribe speak before. As you know, he typically speaks in telepathy. But in this instance, he does speak, and you hear a very clear voice speak out. "I have located your brother. He is currently running some errands. I will be seeing when he is done with them and otherwise drawing him closer once that time arrives, unless you wish to pull him from his task." And the King of Blood thinks for a moment. "Give him a couple days. After that, I want him here. Tell him to hurry up." The King of Blood turns, taking his queen's arm and locking his arm with the queen's arm as they wander off. The blind butcher and the general wandering with as the Skin Scribe floats there. As his head turns towards you. "Now you know your time. Go." And the vision fades.
Rook wakes up, cold
And-
sweat. Fuck! Right over to his pit. He's gonna have a shit in the pit.
And that is where we're going to end the session for the night. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will be back next week as your 3-ish days begin. So,
Yeah.
thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. We'll be back next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.